don't get to being the football that he is or play at the standard that he does without having a bit of white line fever. I don't know how you step on a footy field and go, I'm just going to ease back into it. I think, there's only one pace when you're a footballer of Cody Bramble's quality, and that is 100%. So that hit and his elite attributes, I'm looking forward to seeing just some of those today, given that he's been out for 12 months. I don't think we can expect too much, but I'm looking forward to seeing just some sneak peeks, I suppose.
We've spoken in depth about Sunbury's forward line. We go to North Ballarat's forward line, and their leading goalkeeper, the leading Tony Locomelis at this stage, is the leading race is Denver Granger Barras. It is well documented that he only has a few more games now left at the Roosters, but what can we expect, I guess, from that forward structure from North Ballarat today, Brad McGowan, but also how are they going to replace the goals that he's been out putting? He's only got a handful of games left.
Yeah, well, I love their structure at the moment, because to me you should play three key forwards, and you generally want two of them that are proper key forward sort of height, and so that 190 to 200 centimetre sort of players, and that's what Denver Granger Barras and Jai Lockett provide. Two big hulking key forwards, and then Jamie Quick's like the third tall. All right, so Quickie then uses his speed on the outside. So Quick by name, quick by nature. He's the sort of enigmatic guy that can stand on someone's heads and take a fantastic mark, get in behind the defence and score goals, etc. So to me, that's the sort of ideal structure you would have. Two big key forwards and a third tall. And then there's smalls. I've been really impressed by guys like Will Quinlan and Harvey Lewis, who have been very good at ground level, and they get up high as those mid-forwards, small forwards, up high and then get around back to the crumbs. They've been scoring goals themselves as well as finding the footy up higher.
Our man Sam Treasure's been making his way out to the beautiful Marseille and check out the ground conditions. How is it down there, boundary side, Sammy?
Yeah, the strong crosswinds towards the new grandstands being constructed here at Mars Stadium. Definitely a couple of goals in the breeze that I think are going to favour that old scoreboard end today, gents. But it's certainly not a cold day. It's just going to be who can manage the breeze better.
As the umpires have made their way out on the ground, players have been out there for a moment or so doing their warm-ups, getting ready for this big clash. And I think today is a really important question. I think it is about Sunbury have obviously got some injuries. Their depth has been tested, and not even the seniors and then into the reserves where they've been. But I can't think of the last time I've seen a Sunbury reserve side get beaten by 130 points. They've been absolutely demolished in front of us, and some of the standard footy was quite comical. Is how much what the difference was in the gap with North Ballarat versus them today. So they're, as a footy club, they're getting tested like pretty heavily right now, just on the availability front. And Matt White's a good coach, becoming a great coach, just trying to find that next rabbit out of the hat to get them out of this little stale period that they're in after being 1 and 2 to start season 2026.
What did Matt White say earlier? They had 16 players on the injury list.
Yep.
So that's a lot. Like, let's say you have 50 players on your list. Well, 16 go out. They're down to that 35, sort of 34 numbers, and there'll be no doubt that 6 of those reserve players are guys that didn't actually plan on playing footy this year, but they've been called up after having 5 years off to come out and play. And so,
no question of that.
And so that's then made it even harder into the seniors, and that's what Whitey so graciously said early on, is that he said, like, Whitey took on, hey, I haven't done enough to coach that player as to how to play that position. Well, good on him for saying that. It's pretty hard for him basically saying this guy wasn't meant to play that position, but I've had to put him there. I haven't had time to teach him that. So that's probably a significant part of why that connection between the midfields and the forwards hasn't necessarily been there. And then this week, you add in even more outs in Fraser Ampolsky, their number one ruck. Out he goes. Guthrie, their inside mid. Now, Guthrie, he's the guy that came back. He did his ACL.
That's right.
Last year, came back.
One of the guns of the competition.
Superstar. Had 28 possessions last week, but did his hamstring right at the end of the game, I believe.
Is that common, Brad, amongst people coming back from ACLs? You always seem to hear of blokes doing soft tissue kind of injuries after long-term injuries. Yeah. Well, that's certainly that was my experience, because when you do your knee, they use part of your hamstring as the graft for the ACL. So you wake up with a sore knee and a sore hamstring. And for me, the hamstring was more of a problem than the knee ever was. So it just took a long time for the hamstring to grow back to that position. So not uncommon, I suppose. Certainly not uncommon. Now, I don't know whether it was the same leg for him,
but certainly not uncommon. You can actually get hamstrings taken from your, grafts taken from your quad nowadays as opposed to your hamstring, and some footballers are starting to do that. Having said that, you still need your quad to kick as well. So
yeah, but even the fact he would have been kind of off his feet for the best part of 12 months, regardless of whether it was the hamstring associated with his knee or not. But, you know, it's a wear and tear game, footy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You really need to be doing things regularly.
And the other muscles are compensating for the lack of ACL strength at that time. So, yeah, it's not uncommon to do other muscles, as you're saying. But, yeah, Sunbury again today have even more players out. So it'll be a real challenge for them. I still think they'll go okay in the midfield. I expect, you know, as we said, they're sort of number 3 in the comp. Ballarat were on the bottom for that. So I think that'll end up being about even once you take Ampolsky and Guthrie out for Sunbury. And yeah, it'll come down to some of their stars. I mean, there's no reason why someone like Jake Egan, who our listeners before probably heard us say before, he's Marcus Bontempelli of the competition. Because he plays like him, he looks like him, he's a tall midfielder that uses his left foot, so he plays a lot like that Bulldogs champion. There's no reason why he can't have a huge game as an inside mid, get the ball forward, and he does like to rest forward. He's that sort of player that you go, hey, Jake, we don't really want you to go to the bench at all. Just change and full forward for us if you can.
Yeah, he's a goal a game, just over a goal a game operator across his senior footy career. And yeah, with those traits, you're right, Brad McGowan, because he could actually play that sort of, you're speaking about the key forwards, he could play that sort of third key forward role that you mentioned that Jamie Quick plays for North Ballarat. For some reason, they chose to do that. But in saying that, we've got to get the footy down there so they can give any forward an opportunity to kick winning score this afternoon. He only had the 17 disposals last week to Jake Egan, had the heavy tag of Lockie Walker. I imagine North Ballarat will send someone with a run with Rollick and then the reigning Henderson medalist this afternoon.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? We know that Guthrie's out, so if you can take away Egan's strength, but the trouble is, how do you tag someone who's that 195 sort of centimetre tall player?
That's right. And what do you give up to do that in a stoppage situation? Just looking at that Sunbury side, 7 players today have not played 10 games for the Sunbury Footy Club. That's significant. I can't think of the last time we'd have had a Sunbury team like that. And you look at Matthew Clark's played 2, Blake Walker 8, Hamish Pearce 4, Ethan Bygate 3, Noah Ryan 9, Liam Spiteri 3, Michael Furmeister 1. Like it's a pretty a lean side in terms of experience, isn't it? 7 out of 22.
It is, but there is still some real quality. Like you look at Sunbury's forward line, Daniel Johnson's a fantastic key forward. He can go into the ruck at times as well. Big hulking player there. And Paddy Scanlon was a bit of a revelation last year. He was able to play that sort of third tall last year, and so didn't necessarily get the best defender. Whereas this year they're probably locked in him a little bit more without Sutton being down there. And of course, at the other end of the ground, Tyson Lever still intercepts and marks everything. So it would be interesting to see whether North Ballarat try and go to him, although they didn't try to stop the Ballarat half-back line. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tyson Lever racks up 30 again today.
Just talking about those North interceptors, Glover and Morris. What does Matty White do to address that situation, given he's light on for personnel, but also he knows if he's going to half this game, that's where the production line, I suppose, that's the engine room for North off half-back.
Yeah, I would have said it actually makes it easier with players who are coming in new to say, right, your job is just to play on Glover and Morris. I know that you're playing in the forward line, you're going to play as a defensive forward. And they're probably more likely to, as they're someone new coming into the team, go, okay, I'd like to stay in this team. I'll do exactly what the coach says, as opposed to hunting the footy themselves. So if you can find someone with the discipline to do that, then they're probably more likely to do it. Just whether they can then have much of an influence for you offensively. And can you afford to play 2 defensive forwards? Maybe, maybe not. Certainly with
Morris played a little bit inside in that first game we saw, and maybe that was a personnel thing in the first game we saw at Mars Stadium this year. It didn't play much off half-backs, but certainly if you look at the last 2 weeks in particular, and winning weeks, so it's obviously working for them, that's where they've pushed him back to, that position.
That's true.
And I think it's just his ball use is the point of difference there. On this big ground, Mars Stadium, it is, for a listener's home, slightly bigger than some of the other grounds, being the at the standard it is, and the ability to, from kick-outs as well, to get the ball to the centre of the ground from a territory standpoint just makes such a difference when you're trying to defend the ground. It makes it so much easier to defend the ground when you can hold territory with a guy with such a long kick. And it sounds like such a small thing that sounds really obvious, like where you kick the ball long, you can salvage your defence, but it's also getting into important, areas where you can harbour contests, and even if you don't take the mark, you can at least create a stoppage and, gain that territory that's vitally needed throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, Glover's the one. Glover's the one for me you've got to stop. And it's whether you put one of your best forwards, say a Daniel Johnson or a Paddy Scanlon on him, because at least they will draw the footy and keep Glover a bit more accountable, or do you put in someone else who's just come into the side, who isn't necessarily as noted a forward, and just say you stand next to him and punch it away all day?
It's one of those things that we're only into round 4 though, Brad McGowan, and like you start to think, as a coach, do you stick to your game plan opposed to going head to head with these players and putting tags on all that kind of stuff? It's an interesting, I guess, dilemma that would probably go into the head of Matty White and Clint Proctor this afternoon. Is how much do we stick fat to what we've been trying to? We've had 6 months of putting these messages, about 3 weeks. We want to stick to our game plan and put guys on their roles, or do you have to just pivot every week? Like, I guess there's not really not an answer to that question. But what's your philosophy?
Well, I think that each team should play an inside mid that is either a tagger or at least starts next to that opposition player at each stoppage. And I think one of the most underutilised roles is the defensive forward. If it was me, I'd be playing a defensive forward every week, because every team has a halfback flanker that does not care about their opponent and just focuses on intercepting the ball. And if you let them do what they want, they usually get 30 possessions and make it harder for you to score. So if you can find a player who, look, most mid-forwards are only going to get sort of 10 possessions a game anyway. So if you just go and stand on their best player, you'll get taken to the ball all the time. You'll probably still get your 10 possessions, and hopefully you can limit them. Then they're not that big a changes to your team. And I wouldn't have that defensive forward be one of my best players. I would still allow our best players to do their thing. I would just have someone who's not necessarily one of their stars do that role.
And then the challenge becomes for a Clint Proctor role is, okay, someone's gone to Glover, someone's gone to Morris. How am I going to counter that?
Yeah.
What am I going to do as a coach to maintain the valuable influence that Glover and Morris give me off half-back if Sunbury are playing defensive forward? So it becomes a game of chess, game of cat and mouse, doesn't it?
It does. And look, one of the favourite sayings of coaches is don't get beaten by what you know, which sounds good, but sometimes, like we all know, that when you play Brett Bewley, he's going to have 30 possessions, but there's often not much you can do about it. But at least you can try. So I'd be saying try something, because at least you're going into the game with a plan to try and beat their strength.
Sunbury Treasurers keeping a close eye on the coin toss. Which sides are kicking which way, my friend?
Yeah, Sunbury captain Tyson Lever won the toss, and Sunbury are going to kick to that old scoreboard end with the breeze behind it.
And a quick tip from you?
Yeah, I think North Ballarat, just off recent form, they've won their last 2 games. They absolutely vanquished East Point by 98 points last week. That's quite a statement. And as we talk, Sunbury have quite a few out, and they got absolutely smashed by Melton by 83 last week. So I think off that, you've got to go North Ballarat. One life insurance. Our man Brad McGowan, who wins the game?
North Ballarat by 20 points.
Roger Legrand.
Sammy Treasure's been such a great tipster all year. I'm just going to follow him and go with North.
Yeah, I got North by 25 points in this one, as the players have made their way into the positions. We are ready to go for round 4 action in the Ballarat Football Netball League. It is North Ballarat hosting the Sunbury Lions, and to kick things off, here's Roger Legrand.
Thanks, Sam Young. Sun is shining, wind is blowing here at Mars Stadium as we get underway. Muir in the ruck for Sunbury. Ball spills to ground, kick off the ground in the direction of North Ballarat, who will kick into the Creswick Road end. Strong tackle. They was the sling umpire said no. Harry Power comes out with a ball for Sunbury. Handball to that man, Egan, goes out in the direction of Gallant, and Lever can't pick it up, and it'll be a ball up on the back line of the centre square. Creswick Road ended the ground. North Ballarat in attack.
So that was Seb Morris, the ruckman for North Ballarat, was throwing his weight around there.
And he'll get up nice and high, but Muir will get the tap. The 2 number 20s going head-to-head in the ruck this afternoon as Lamb spits it wide there to Carey. Right for kick around the body will go the required 15 over top and find Reggie Palmer, 60 from goal. Opportunity to set one over the top of the square and look for Granger Barras, but he had the locket in the pocket, and that's where he went. Jai takes the mark, 40 metres out, right up against the boundary line.
You've been waiting to say that, haven't you, Sam?
I've been waiting all year to have that one. It was on my dartboard at the start of the year. I was like, I'm ready to get that one out into the ethos of 3BA Footy's Home Ground. Thanks to our good friends at T2E Gyms.
This is a tough kick, boys. He's standing outside of the boundary. The breeze is certainly going to bring the ball back, but he would want to aim for the right goal post, so his side goal post.
So Lockett starts his approach to that goal face. As Brad McGowan said, tough kick is a tough kick for a Lockett. It's across the face. No score will be registered, and in the end, intercept marks taken deep in the fence by the North Ballarat defence, and so Ruckman Joel Muir getting back on the last line.
So Sunbury looking to clear, and they do so. Hit up short. Murphy Boyd has the ball for Sunbury. He's about 20 metres from the North Ballarat goal. Just trying to hold on to the footy. Comes wide to Gallant for Sunbury. He goes in short over the head of Bramble, and it'll be a lasso right in front of the North Ballarat interchange bench, and the free kick to be taken by Sam Arts for North Ballarat. He kicks long forward. He was a poor one in the end, but it did put the Sunbury defence under pressure. North Ballarat trying to keep the ball alive in this stoppage situation. Some strength coming through from Lever. Miller was in there as well for Sunbury, and in the end, they're going to clear. Kick off the side of the boot from Ryan, but North not able to pick it up, and in the end, it's Miller who comes through for Sunbury. Kicks long towards Ford. Johnson out by himself with Glover. This is the matchup we wanted. Brad McGowan and Glover able to get back. His kick put Carey under pressure. Up to the task with a handball, if you could call it that. Ball swings back in the direction of Carey off a boot. Johnson picks up. Handballs over the top in the direction of Bramble, I think it was. Kick goes to the line. Getting back Carey. No, it's Curran to spoil on a mark taken in the back pocket by Carey.
So North Ballarat survive. Curran, the last line of the fence, just getting that hand up and saving it from crossing the line and finding Carey short deep in the fence. We'll go long towards the outer side for North Ballarat. A wobbly kick will work out okay to Collins, who spit it wide there looking for Leonard. Half volley was always going to be tough to collect as he came back towards the traffic, and in between half forward and centre on the outside, the umpire's going to say, give it to me, I'll throw it in neutral territory.
I was keeping an eye on Sam Glover's match up there. He actually didn't go anywhere near Johnson. He just said, I'm going to stay in the corridor, and didn't pay Johnson any respect. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on that.
Go again, knock one down there by Muir towards the boundary line, but the clearance will go the way of Elliot Lamb of North Ballarat as he sends it towards centre wing. Bouncing ball, Lever Fisters out of bounds, and we'll get a ball in on true centre wing on the outside.
I think we'll get a lot of play over there this afternoon, Brad, because of these crosswinds. It seems to be pushing the footy out there.
Certainly, and it's certainly protected just in front of the grandstand here on our media box side, but certainly once you get out in the middle, the wind gets hold of it.
So Muir has a noticeable size advantage for Sunbury over his opponent in Collins in that ruck duel. North still very strong in clearance, and Leonard goes in very strongly, going to force a repeat stoppage. So play is on the centre wing on the Creswick Road side of the ground. No team has scored yet in the nearly 4 minutes we've played here at Mars Stadium. The D2E Gyms, as play gets back underway, it's Muir who wins the hit out for Sunbury. Ball goes to ground. Carey kicked it off the ground in the end, I think, and it went high. Is it going to beat the boundary umpire? He's going to call it touch, and it'll be out of play on the Creswick Road side of the ground, in the middle of the ground.
It's interesting to note that North Ballarat aren't holding many forwards. I think they've only got 3 forwards actually ahead of the ball, maybe 4, whereas Sunbury have got more like a 5 forwards. So Sunbury keeping their traditional forward line there.
Back on underway on true. Collins will tap for North Ballarat this time. Again, another tackle, another stoppage on the far side. Virtually helps from our broadcast position in centre wing. At the 4.5 minute mark, we'll go once again in neutral territory. Muir against Collins. Muir with the tap, McGuigan with the clearance, off there to Leonard on his non-preferred right boot. We get the high ball towards half forward for North Ballarat. Tough on the mark, Lever good enough. So get the kick away, coming on the side, nice mark taken by Bowman, who floated across and intercepts in the middle of Mars Stadium. Been going at 80+% by foot the first 3 games, and season 2026 is Taj Bowman. Kicks off the outside of the boot as you wrap him up and turns it over. Mark taken by Sunbury on the half-back line and by guess who? Tyson Lever with a short 15-minute pass. He finds Ryan.
They can't leave Tyson Lever by himself all day. He's just going to intercept Mark.
Ryan comes inboard and finds a teammate in Scanlon playing high up the ground. Called to play on now. Kicks long towards half forward for Sunbury. It's off the side of the boot, but Lux of Fortune landed right in a teammate's lap, just inside 50, and that teammate is Liam Spiteri. He is about 50 metres from goal. Probably a kick from 55, but he's directly in front, and he knows he's got the wind behind him.
Yeah, you can see he gave the signal straight away. Boys, don't lead. I'm having a shot. Like, he's standing nearly in the centre of the ground here.
So in comes Liam Spiteri. Plays on to open up the arc, kicks off the side of the boot, bounces about 3 times, and the boundary umpire will throw the ball in behind the behind post here at Mars Stadium. 6 minutes played, no one on the scoreboard yet, so 0 apiece here.
He's not allowed to give that signal not to lead ever again after that kick.
Yeah, one is best. Let's put it that way. Deep inside 50, Sunbury have the territory to start. We've played 6 minutes in the opening term with no scores yet. Collins takes out the ruck, clears D50 with a wobbly kick. McGuigan drops one he probably should have taken. Now invites the pressure from the drop mark, and another stoppage to result. I think we've probably got the stoppage 10 or 11.
Collins was lucky not to give away a free kick right in front of goal there. He did throw his opponent away. Umpire let him go.
So we go once again, true centre back, or true centre forward, depending who you support for Sunbury. And again, another stoppage result. Egan doing the tackling. And a real arm wrestle start here, Brad McGowan. Have you seen anything that you like or dislike from both sides? We'll get your thoughts in a moment as we go quickly with Collins with the knockdown. Handball shot was clever by North Ballarat, but might come back with interest. Well played there by Walker to leave his man and intercept for the initial part. McGuigan mobs things up north. Gate off there to Bromwell Lynch, who sends it towards centre forward. In front, mark taken there by Granger Barras. Vacant 50 to aim at. Against the breeze, going to be a tough kick. He goes towards the full forward position, holds up nicely for Quick from the side. Did he have the arms chopped? No. Umpire says it's not chopping the arms, and we'll get a stoppage inside 50.
So North Ballarat is definitely going against the breeze. You can see the ball being held up in marking contests. It looks like it's going to go 50, and then all of a sudden it gets held up in the breeze and only ends up going 40. So that's going to be a challenge for North to score up against
Ball
this.
thrown up in the forward pocket. North Ballarat entered the ground. Lever goes in strongly. Snap over the shoulder from the skipper, Leonard. Look good off the boot. Goal umpires happy with it. And the first score for the afternoon, North Ballarat away. 1 goal straight. 6 Sunbury yet to score on the Metro scoreboard.
I think that's the way that North Ballarat might find a number of their scores, particularly up against this breeze. As I said, they're only holding the 3 forward, so there's often a spare Sunbury player behind the ball. North Ballarat sending extra numbers up around the ball. That's helped them get some extra clearances. I'll give you some clearance numbers in a minute, but they're certainly getting more of the ball around the stoppage because they're +1 or +2 in there. Then they've got less players to kick to, so they just need to get it forward, cause another stoppage, and then try and score from stoppages just like that.
A goal against the breeze start here going the way of North Ballarat, and it feels like it was only 1, but it feels like 2. As that's how strong the breeze is this afternoon. They're going to be vital going towards the Creswick Road end this afternoon and telling the outcome. Shea on debut will get the clearance towards centre forward. Off hands. Harvey Lewis kick, dribbles inside 50 towards Lockett. Off the Quick. Runs around to his non-preferred left side. And in the end, made poor contact with the footy. And Sunbury able to clear with a dump kick towards centre back. Muir in front. We'll see it bounce over the back. And towards the middle. Shea confronted there by Scanlon. Handball was clever by North Ballarat to work out through Penny. And now Arts on the outside can stream away from the contest. Right foot kick towards full forward. Spills at the back. Bounces all the way home. And North Ballarat have 2. Sammy Arts from outside 50. Kicks the second. And 2 in a minute to the Roosters.
Great goal by Sammy Arts. I'm not 100% sure he was having a shot. I think he was just kicking it to the tall forwards inside 50, but it just carried over Tyson Lever's head and just got the perfect bounce for Artsy through. And North Ballarat do look the better side around the stoppage. The Sunbury ruckman in Muir is certainly taller and he's getting the hits, but they're not making the most of them. And this is what we've talked about with Sunbury. They're actually getting enough of the ball, but they're just not being able to execute and get it inside 50 enough. At the moment, we've got North Ballarat leading the clearances 7 to Sunbury's 3.
We might cross down to Sammy Treasure before too long. There was a marking contest as the ball skipped over the back of that head, and Sean Riley and Granger Barras clashed heads. Now, Granger Barras has got straight back up. Riley's taken a little bit longer. He's down the goal square at the moment as play gets underway in the middle, and as Brad just said, Muir wins the head out, but Reggie Palmer for North Ballarat does the sharking. Handball's back in the direction of Collins. He gave it to Leonard on left boot inside 50, so play in the attacking 50 for North Ballarat. Jolly. Handball over the top in the direction of Lockett. Round 1, round 2, got a handball, and Lever for Sunbury's able to intercept that handball and kick it back into the middle of the ground. Now the foot races on. It's on centre wing out in front of the new grandstands. Creswick Road side of the ground. Johnson picks up with one hand. What a great pickup. Handballs over to a teammate in Boyd. Round 1. Lucky not to be pinged for holding the ball. The end. Back to Johnson. He tried to fend off 1-2. Should be pinged for holding the ball. Umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up.
Ooh, might be lucky there. I thought he put the fend out your right to the ground. And on the current interpretations, I reckon they should have been holding the ball. But escape for Sunbury. Stoppage to half forward. Trailing 2 goals to North Ballarat on the Metro scoreboard. Collins with the tap. Muir coming through as the opposing ruckman couldn't gather. North Ballarat usher a hand pass forward in the direction of Arts. He's unable to gather. Coming through there for Sunbury was Spiteri. It must be a free kick for a hold. Advantage is going to be taken there by Egan. And he's going to thump it towards the full forward position. It's off the side of the boot though, as he sends it out of bounds, and a stoppage inside 50 would be the result. Another poor entry from the Lions.
Well, it was, but the ball is travelling that extra 10 metres. Like, he's kicked that from centre wing, and it's gone all the way out of bounds next to the point post. So, yeah, you can certainly kick the ball and score from deep.
Play umpire throws the ball in. Johnson grabs it out of the ruck, shrugs 1, shrugs 2. That's got to be holding the ball, and it will be. So free kick going to North Ballarat in the back pocket. Taken by Bowman, who appears for the 50 metres. And the umpire says, I actually agree with you, Taj. He didn't stand there. Let's bring the ball forward 50 metres for North Ballarat. The free kick will be now taken inside the centre square. So Taj Bowman doing it all. Strong tackle. Asked the umpire for 50, got it. Now he's looking to use those great foot skills of his to advantage. He ends up going sideways in the end out to the Creswick Road wing and finds Sam Arts for North Ballarat. He goes for that hit up and finds it. Quinlan's got the ball for North Ballarat on the wing. Smack bang in the centre of the ground. Creswick Road side of the ground. North kicking against the breeze this quarter. So, knowing their running time off what should be a 3 or 4 goal breeze, I think. Hang on, we've got a blood rule here. And with that, Brad McGowan, the method from North at the moment in terms of kicking the ball into that win, the outer side, is that the way you would do it as a coach?
Well, I like the way they switched the ball, and then what I was so happy with was their ability to create space in front of the ball and create a leading lane. You could see there was like a 50 to 60 metre pocket of space in front of the North Ballarat player with the ball, and that gave North forwards chances to lead into that space, and then they were disciplined not to stay in that. They kept creating the space. So yeah, great ball movement by North Ballarat up against the breeze.
So Bowman will go short, the required 50 to find Lockett. He'll play on, don't know towards half forward with a searching ball. Tough on the mark, brought to ground by the North Ballarat forwards. Quick clear and kick will work out for Sunbury. Lands on chest. His his kick was smothered as they try to launch one forward. And Sunbury's ball use with this breeze has been an issue to start. Trying to go quickly, they'll send it out of the bounds. And then when they go inside 50 Brad McGowan, they do a technology just to then kick to man the mark.
Well, one of the problems when you've got the breeze is you just think the breeze is going to do all the work for you, so you just bomb it long all the time. That is not working for them at the moment.
So virtually opposite from a broadcast position on the outside. Muir will get the clearance. Handball away was clever. The rightful kick from Sunbury will go towards centre half forward, but again it's going to come back the way of North Ballarat. Nice mark taken there by Glover. Can access the corridor if he likes. Kicks off the instep. Poor use for him, which is a rarity. Bramble looks inside. Handball off to Muir, but he left it behind. It invites Penny to the contest, and he picked his pocket. His handball was sort of poor as well as Bramble tries to make amends. Works out to Johnston. Rightful kick towards full forward. Getting back as Bowman can complete the mark. Glover, always clever. Got it back towards Bowman. Took the tackle in his stride, and in the end, a stoppage. About 35 metres, that tackle in the left forward pocket as a result.
How have you assessed Bramble's first 14 minutes back in footy, Brad McGowan? Question on notice as the umpire comes in to throw the ball up. It's in the forward pocket, almost in front of where the old scoreboard used to be here at Creswick Road in Ballarat, as Newitt taps the ball over the line for Sunbury.
Yeah, Bramble just starting to work his way into the game. He has looked, he hasn't quite looked as confident as you'd expect, but he's starting to work his way into the right spots and gradually starting to get a few possessions.
So it'll be Nathan Jolly for North Ballarat versus Jack Newitt for Sunbury in the ruck. I bet you those two haven't spent much time in the ruck before, but given the circumstances, handball came out to Bramble, back over to Egan. He couldn't kick it from there, couldn't he? He agreed and handballed it back to Power. Power goes onto the right boot. Does it swing around enough? It has. It's a goal to Sunbury. It wasn't Power. It was Linus Paturi in the end for Sunbury, and he puts through their first of the afternoon. I'm tipping it might even be his first goal in senior footy because the players have come for everywhere. Sunbury have their first of the afternoon. They're 1 goal 6. North are 2 straight 12 on the Metro scoreboard.
Well, he's in that pocket on the Creswick Road side where the breeze basically did all the work for him. Yeah. He just aimed for the goal square, and then the ball got sucked towards the town end and then pulled it back through the goal. So perfect kick, used the breeze beautifully. And again, that's probably the way Sunbury are going to look to score from those forward 50 stoppages because they're often outnumbered when they're going into their forward line.
Well called by you, Roger Legrand, as Sunbury go to 1 goal straight 6 on the Metro scoreboard, trailing North Ballarat 2 goals straight 12. Muir got up high early, won it down. Clearance will go the way of Sunbury potentially, although the handball was poor and thrown away by North Ballarat blatantly as you like. Free kick the way of Dean Muir on the defence side of the square. Just trying to keep it going forward. Was quick and he underarmed it to a direct opponent.
Unfortunately, right in front of umpire Chris Jones, who made the right call.
So Power will chip it over the top. The leading lane's on it. Mark's taken there by Sunbury. An opportunity to go forward through Clark towards the full forward position. Egan rests the forward, couldn't quite gather. Does on the second bite of the cherry. Breaks the tackle on his non-preferred right boot. Scrubbed the kick backwards to try and find a teammate in Bygate. And in the end, the kick wasn't good enough to find a chest. Big tackle applied by North Ballarat. Almost a dangerous one at that. But we'll get a stoppage on the half-back flank for the Roosters, who lead by 6 points here at Mars Stadium.
Umpire throws the ball in the air. The intensity just seems to have gone up a little since that Sunbury goal as Harry Powers' kick is smothered off the boot by Arts. Comes up back in the direction of Dean Muir for Sunbury. Goes inside 50 now. Beautiful pick up from Egan. Gave it back to Power on his right boot. Did it sneak in?
Got it right this time.
Sam Young nods his head, and Harry Power kicks his first of the afternoon. Sunbury have their second. 2 straight 12. North 2 straight 12 on the Metro scoreboard.
So again, another goal from forward 50 stoppage. That's 3, 2 to Sunbury and 1 to North Ballarat. Sunbury's just movement through the stoppage was beautiful, and Power, that is that clever player that likes to get that sort of second possession and dodge in and out of traffic from a stoppage. Beautiful kick on goal. And interestingly, it's that point in the game where backup rucks were in, and Daniel Johnson for Sunbury, the full forward, had gone in. He helped get a couple of clearances there and did help set up that goal.
Back on the way here at Marseille, the scores are now level. Muir back in the ruck. Almost won the hit out of his noggin. So we'll give him the tap. Big tackle by Tentanella, who's gone inside the start this afternoon. Only gets a lockdown role in defence, but little magnet flip. He's gone into the midfield today. Come away for Sunbury. Jolie wins the tap. Muir is opposing ruck with a follow-up tackle. Locks things up. We'll get a third stoppage to restart here at Mars Stadium with Jolie up against Muir in the middle of this beautiful stadium. At ground level, Arcee well off to Lennon. Non-preferred right foot kick was smothered. Sunbury spit it wide there towards Boyd. He'll flick it back to Gallant. Goes for a little run. Right foot kicks a searching one towards the half-forward flank. Newitt, strong on the hips. Handball inside, finds his target. Right foot kick coming from the Lions towards the full forward position. Was looking for the direction of Bramble. In the end, it was too tall for him. Glover with composure. Wheels around to that left boot. He's able to find a chest as he exits the fence.
Harvey Lewis is the man with the ball.
I just thought Sunbury needed to find a target going inside 50 there instead of bombing it long. It was Jake Egan, the midfielder, who was resting at full forward, who didn't really want to lead. He probably needed to on that occasion.
Call to play on. Harvey Lewis kicks up the ground and kicks it straight into the arms of Joel Muir for Sunbury, who's marked on the Creswick Road wing here. Plays on. Handball and a kick long into 50 in the direction of Egan, who's become the key forward target almost. Carey was clever for North Ballarat. Tapped it back to a teammate. Back to Carey now. Ball heads towards the boundary line. Quinlan, very well done. Over to a teammate in Shea. Comes inboard and finds Will Quinlan up on the wing. So he's on the wing. He's going to look inboard and find a teammate in Fletcher Loader, who had the fumbles but had enough time to give it back to Glover by hand, who gave it back to Fletcher Loader for North Ballarat. His kick was a poor one, and Sunbury have turned it over.
There's an opportunity for Sunbury to go back inside 50 with interest. A short pass. Mark taken by Boyd, 60 from goal. Wheel around and off the outside of the boot. It's a poor kick to the leading lane. Scatlin it's collected heavily. Straight in was
It's like the old tunnel, wasn't it?
Yes, and it's thankfully he didn't land.
Oh, he hasn't landed well. He's landed on his shoulder. It was sort of, if you saw Aaron Norton get cleaned up a couple of weeks ago, it was similar to that, although Sam Arce didn't do the full somersault. He did land on his shoulder. He's up again on his feet.
Tough customer, but yeah, that was a heavy landing from the late contact from Scanlon, who almost sort of just charged through him.
Yeah.
Was it Scanlon or Lever? Sorry, not Lever, Egan. I think it was Egan in the end.
Might have been Egan.
Yeah, because he wore the attention from the teammates, Sam Young, that's for sure.
So Curran now with it from the lateral ball, sent a high one towards centre wing. Again, big ruck from Muir getting back, but not the first or second, but now the third time intercepting. This is on centre wing on the broadcast side. Goes the required 15 backwards to find Gallant. Johnson just checked in off the bench, a loose target on the broadcast side. He spots him up now. Rifle kicks going to go in that direction, hangs in the air a little bit. Will come away with it still with Johnson. Good on his feet for a big man. Then he drops the footy like a sack of spuds and has a problem as he flicks it back to Riley. Over the top, pass to Muir, to running Power. Got the hands free, but coughed it up to Lewis. And now Leonard from halfback will thump a left foot kick towards the half-forward line. Ranger Barras from the back could take the mark. Ball in dispute coming through was McGuigan. He went without it. In the end, didn't have it. Free kick to Declan McGuigan for North Ballarat.
Declan McGuigan plays on quickly, comes inboard, finds a teammate in Lamb, handballs over to Lewis. On the move now, kicks inside 50 for North Ballarat. The teammate will get a free kick for front on contact, and it's going to go the way of Reggie Palmer, who has pushed inside 50, Brad McGowan, and will kick from about 40 metres from goal. For One Life Insurance, what are your thoughts?
Well, that's exactly how you draw it up. North Ballarat had the ball on this grandstand wing. All the Sunbury spare players were back 50 metres down the line, but they took 2, 3, 4 possessions through the middle of the ground, went to the other side where there was space and found a player who was able to get the free kick.
Time on the opening term. North Ballarat kicking against the breeze, but can take back the lead. Reggie Palmer from 40 metres out, right foot kicks on its way. Always look near side to the boot, and he's probably been lucky enough to scrape it through for a score. The first blemish of the afternoon goes the way of the Roosters. They're 2-1-13 on the Metro score with Sunbury trail 2 goals straight 12.
It was a harder position to kick from over there, but it was the right decision to go through the middle, and that's that better ball movement that we've heard Clint Proctor, the coach, and Simon McCartan, their captain, speak about earlier today.
Sunbury play on from full-back, bring the ball long on the broadcast side of the ground, direction of Muir for Sunbury. He cleverly taps it over to the North player's head, but not to real advantage, actually, as Taj Bowman, who's had a good first quarter, picks it up first. Handballs back to a teammate in Lamb for North Ballarat. Ball was touched off the boot. Umpire said didn't see the touch. Mark taken by Quick for North Ballarat. Goes on to his non-preferred left boot, kicks up the line. Very good mark taken overhead by Ben Eels to intercept for Sunbury, right in front of the interchange benches here at Mars Stadium. So Sunbury, can they draw another goal in these last few minutes, kicking with the breeze? The kick goes long towards half forward. Muir crushed into Loader, and Loader's gone down. Kick comes into that Sunbury inside 50. Isaac Carey for North Ballarat is the quickest, and he's able to pick up the footy. He plays on out towards the outer side of the ground and finds a teammate in Penny who dropped it.
North Power player off the footy as well for Sam Treasure. Keep an eye on as we'll stick with the action as Lewis. Yep. Goes towards centre wing on the outside. Opportunity for North to go back into attack here through Lewis on a right foot kick. And Granger Barras out the back and the kick's on his head and he takes the mark.
So just going back to that incident with Loader, as I called it, he was met by the knee to the hip region, I suspect, of by Muir in that contest.
And they've got the X up, and that only means one thing. They're going to call for a stretcher here, which makes you think straight away it's...
Oh, it might be knee even. Might
Is
not
it
be
knee?
hip.
Yeah, knee or ankle. They're sort of...
He might have shattered his ankle. The way that the went lower towards his leg.
Let's cross down to Sam Treasure on the boundary and see what he can see from his vantage point.
Yeah, it did not look good at all. I think it probably does look like a knee, and you just got a feel for Fletcher Loader. He only played 3 senior games last year to injury, so yeah, prayers are up right now as the stretcher's just coming out.
Yeah,
looks in a degree of pain, doesn't he, like from here?
Yeah, it's going to be a major stoppage here at Mars Stadium as they get the stretcher out. The sides are going into their huddles.
Yeah, we're just trying to have a look on the vision. We've just rewound and looked at it a couple of times. It's either ankle or knee, I think. It's certainly lower leg. The way he's landed, just hasn't landed appropriately. And you could see that the people around him were, like, as they'd look at it, they were sort of turning their head away. So I wouldn't be surprised if his ankle is not quite facing the right way there, because...
Yeah, there was a level of distress around all the players straight away to bring it to the attention of not only the trainers but the umpires. And once the ball was dead, they stopped the game immediately.
We might take the opportunity to go around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store, down at McPherson Park, Darley 2517. Have the jump on Melton 1410. At C.E. Brown Reserve, Sebastian got off to a fly. That good form continues, Sam Young. 6-5-41. The Borough are leading Lake Wendouree 1 behind. And the only other game this afternoon is at Marty Bush Recreation. Is it? No, it actually might be at City Oval.
Yes.
Redan are playing Ballarat. So Redan have started well, 3-2-20 versus Ballarat 1-14.
I've also got some results in the AFL. The poor form of Essendon continues, unfortunately. So they're playing the Brisbane Lions. Brisbane Lions at Marvel Stadium, 17-8-110, lead Essendon 6-12-48. That's into the fourth quarter there.
They've been able to get Loader onto the stretcher and are now carrying him off the ground.
He looks to be in a degree of pain. Sam Treasury, anything more that you can see from where you're standing near that interchange bench?
No, it's just a profound emotion down here.
What is the mood of the camp, Sammy? Like, obviously, when a horrific injury like this happens, is it like, what can you describe to the listeners what it's like down the boundary side?
Oh, it's very empty. It's very quiet. There's not much noise, really. You see players, a couple are coming to Loader now to give him a tap on the shoulder, which is good camaraderie. But yeah, it's a very empty feeling down here, Sam. There's not much movement at all.
So somber scenes here as Fletcher Loader's taken off the ground. We'll get back to the footy action. The mark's been taken by Denver Granger Barras. Inside forward 50 for North Ballarat. He's currently leading the race. Well, going into this game, sorry, for the Locket. Has 12 goals in 3 games. The number 13 of the season. He's going to line up for 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Former top 10 pick in the AFL. with Hawthorn.
Gosh, you've talked him up here, Youngie. I'm worried.
Right foot kick comes on its way. Never in doubt for DGB. He's first of the afternoon. North Ballarat's third. They go to 3-1-19 on the Metro scoreboard to Sunbury's 2 goals straight 12.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the way North Ballarat have moved the ball. They've certainly not just blazed away. They've known they're up against the breeze. They've either lowered their eyes and found people 20, 30 metres away as opposed to 50. Every time they're bombed at 50, Sunbury have been able to mark it. And then on the other side of that, when Sunbury have got inside forward 50, they've been the ones bombing the ball. And it's always been North Ballarat who have been getting back and being to that next contest.
Now, for listeners at home or in the car, wherever you're listening on 3BA Footy this afternoon, North Ballarat have gone down the AFL path and they've got these big signs with different symbols on them on the bench. We'll hear more from that from Brad McGowan shortly as Harry Powell wins the clearance for North Ballarat. His handball was smothered though, and Isaac Carey for North Ballarat is able to go back in, put it on his right boot. Gallant for Sunbury intercepts, picked it up beautifully, kicked inboard towards Miller, dropped what he should have taken. Ball comes back to Miller. North Ballarat have the numbers, heavy collision in the centre of the ground. Ball spills out in the direction of Bramble for Sunbury now. He goes onto that right boot, kicks towards half forward. Kerry, who seems to have been everywhere this quarter, an early contender for Sporting Globe Player of the Day, spoils it and gives it back to Taj Bowman, kicks up the line direction of Lockett. Wasn't able to mark it, picked the ball up off the ground for North Ballarat. Kicks on his left boot inboard towards Granger Barras. Was he pushed? Umpire said no. Lever gets back for Sunbury to help, and it looks like it's going to be a ball up just inside 50 on the Crescent Road end of the ground.
Now that sign is actually a Sunbury sign, and
Sunbury,
it's a Lightning sign. So to me, Lightning would say, hey, take the game on, be a bit faster. It is, 28 minutes gone, so I don't think it's slow the game down when they've got the breeze, but let's see.
Lightning time for Sunbury. They need to get on the scoreboard. Hand pass there by Muir. Should be covered by Collins, so to break things up. Quinlan also involved with North Ballarat, but another stoppage inside forward 50, which would be all but pleasing for Clint Proctor this opening term against the breeze. They lead on the scoreboard by 7 points. They have the footy deep into the quarter inside 50. Of course, we're expecting a long term now with a delayed break. As we'll go once again with another stoppage inside forward 50. Collins doing the tackling there on Gallant. We'll go once again. The two number 20s in the ruck. Collins wins the tap this time though. Landed outside 50, retreats with the hand pass in the Arts direction. Took on one, took on two, and this time Sammy's gone. Tackle applied by Harry Power, who's been one of the Lions' best. He wins the free kick with a short pass and finds Dean Muir, defence side centre wing.
Dean Muir, he fumbled that kind of handball. In the end, he's missed the target, and Penny's able to clean up for North Ballarat. Gave it back to Arts. His kicks off the side of the boot. Although the winds bring it round a little bit, no, it was still out of bounds on the full. In front of the spectators here at Mars Stadium or on the broadcast side of the ground on the half-back flank. So Lever will play on quickly. Dangerous kick. Miller dropped what he should have taken, but they've got enough time to clean it up, and the ball comes out in the wing to Bygate. He comes out to Dean Muir now. Kicks long into half forward. In the direction of Johnson. North have the numbers. Penny. Was he met high? Umpire said no. He's able to get around and kick long. He turns it over. Gallant can't mark it. Ball spills over the back. Jolly goes in, as does Lever. Lever uses experience to tap it back to Gallant. Cleverly done from Sunbury. Kick comes long towards half forward and getting back to take the mark, Taj Bowman.
He's been terrific.
To me, the Lightning sign certainly means take the game on with run and handball. There's a lot more run from Sunbury. The only trouble is North Ballarat got two spare defenders back, so even though Sunbury are running and carrying, they're kicking it straight to North every time.
So Bowman retreated to Curran. Initially, he'll chip over top to find Thomas Palmer in game 2. On the defence side, centre wing on the broadcast side for North Ballarat. And he'll go over the top and find target in Tom Bromley Lynch, as the Roosters have been able to just maintain possession here on the broadcast side. Another short ball. Lockett dropped one he should have taken. Then he's probably giving away the free kick. The umpire blindsided to let it go. Now Sunbury go in attack. Handball over the top. Egan, strong the hips, has a vacant goal square. Clever look laterally, trying to find his target there in Boyd. He retreats back to Miller. Now to Scanlon. The wide kick again by Sunbury as they fail to enter inside forward 50. Was in the direction there of Walker. Mess up with by hand. Quinlan with the tackle. Sunbury unable to access the goal face there. What do you think of that entry, Brad McGowan?
Well, it's just, there's not much they can do because North Ballarat have got all these players back. Sunbury need to get some forwards to reset back to their position so they can actually have someone to kick to. They're all up the ground trying to stop the ball. They need to get forward.
31 and a half minutes gone in the first quarter. If you've just joined us, it's going to be a long quarter because Fletcher Loader for North Ballarat went off with what looked like a serious ankle or knee injury. So we're expecting a longer quarter. Players on the wing of the ground as Jamie Quick kicking against the wind for North Ballarat. Kicks it up and down, and Reggie Palmer, his teammate's able to take the mark. He plays on and uses that foot speed of his quickly. Kicks long into its Granger Barras. It's a poor kick off the boot, and Hamish Pearce is able to get back for Sunbury and take the mark. He comes up that same wing the ball came from in the direction of his ruckman in Muir for Sunbury. Trying to tap the ball on the ground to Egan. Wasn't able to do so, and the ball was split out of play. Out on the outer wing here at Crescent Road. We've just ticked over 32 minutes on the Metro scoreboard.
Great one-on-one win there for Steve Collins, outnumbered 3-1. Was able to get this ball out of bounds. Back on the way here, one won the ruck by Joel Muir for Sunbury, and it ricochets back towards his chest, and another stoppage on the outside is the result.
So the spare defender back, or one of the spare defenders back for North Ballarat, is Jai Lockett, their centre-half forward. So they've clearly gone, let's try and finish without Sunbury scoring for the rest of this quarter.
Again, and umpires picked out free kick in the back. I was about to say no repeat stoppage was going to be the result, but he's found a crude tackle, and it's going to go the way of Sunbury as they try to attack. On the defence side, centre wing on the other side, virtually also in a broadcast position as Egan will get us back underway. No, he will not. As the siren, as you can hear, sounds here at Mars Stadium to signal quarter time in a match-up here between North Ballarat and Sunbury. North Ballarat, the Metro scoreboard 3-1-19, lead Sunbury 2 goals straight 12. We're going to take a break here thanks to our number 2 goal D2E Gym. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
Rock hits. Pop hits. Nothing but classic hits.
They play all the songs I know.
Better music and more of it. Ballarat's 3BA.
Get your build on a roll with Metroll Ballarat, because Metroll Ballarat is rolling forward with a brand new fleet, servicing a wider area with faster turnarounds. Inside the shed is a new...
He also said that they're going too much up down the same side after turning the ball over. He said he wants to open the ground up a bit more, just play some more open footy. He also just said he wants nothing silky this quarter, just some good solid football. And I do have an update as well on Fletcher Loader. It is an ankle injury suspected, unfortunately for him.
Just the landing, quite obviously. No good at all. Our thoughts are with Fletcher Loader, as we indicated earlier. He missed a lot of footy last year, and now he looks like he's going to miss a bit more.
We've got the second term underway here at Mars Stadium with Muir against Collins. Muir will get the tap, although it might be North Ballarat getting the first clearance as ricochet back. Spiteri is the man for Sunbury, gets the kick past his brother. Then the Lions have won a free kick for a high tackle. Coming in there was Ryan, who got collected high. And the Lions can go forward. Right foot kick in the to the half forward direction. And Penny was nudged under the...
Had to be a free kick, didn't it?
Just enough, says the umpire, for a free kick, and it'll go the way of Dominic Penny on the half-back flank for the Roosters.
So Dominic Penny looks inboard to his skipper, Elliot Lamb. Somebody were good enough to spoil a mark he perhaps could have taken. Contested footy situation in the centre of the ground. Lamb goes back in. Egan's in there, as is Seb Collins for North Ballarat. And in the end, ball is going nowhere for One Life Insurance. Brad McGowan.
Well, it's just interesting that North Ballarat then switched the ball into the middle of the ground, whereas Sunbury all first quarter just bombed it long. North already showing, hey, we're going to try and change angles. We're not going to necessarily bomb it inside 50.
Muir won the hit out straight down to Egan, and you had Bromley Lynch hot on his hammer and forced another ball up as Egan a little bit slow to get to his feet there, with a bit of a grab at his foot as umpire Chris Jones throws the ball in the air. It looks like it's going to be a repeat stoppage. Brad, just the numbers of players around this stoppage in the middle of the ground at the moment.
Yeah, there is a lot, and it does look like Bromley Lynch is going to Egan, by the way, so I think he's tagging him.
Palmer will get the clearance and send it towards the full forward position towards Granger Barras, fisted away by Riley in the fence. Eels just hatches on the footy there as Locker comes in to wrap him up, and a stoppage inside forward 50 result. With only really a couple of clean possessions to start this term in the opening couple minutes. And we're inside forward 50 for North Ballarat. Collins comes down and does the ruck work and wins it down. Riley with the hand pass retreats but finds a teammate. They spread it wide in the direction of Bramble, who is quick. He goes over the top. Afterburners were turned on by Ryan, but he couldn't get away from the whoopie tackler. Did he go below the knees? Umpire said no. Handball underground is towards the boundary line. Reggie Palmer's walked over the line. We'll get a ball inside forward 50 for North Ballarat.
You were very slow to get up there. I think he copped a knee where it really hurts.
Yep.
Yep, 1, 2, they're both there, so he's all right.
His hand hasn't left the area yet.
I do feel for
I think
him.
he just found middle stump.
Play back underway with a boundary throw in. He was good enough to get to his feet and win the hit out down to a teammate in Miller. Probably could have been pinged for holding the ball. In the end, Bromley Lynch snapped the ball towards the goal square. Lever for Sunbury gets back. Hurriedly kicks the ball on his right boot in the direction of Pearce for Sunbury. Handball over the top to Blake Walker for Sunbury. He kicks long up the line and turns it over. Taj Bowman, who is an early contender for Sporting Globe Player of the Day, does the intercept. Kicks inboard to Leonard the skipper. Kicks long with the aid of the breeze towards the goal square. Granger Brass dropped it. Should have taken it. It's going to be a ball up in the goal square. Gosh, I thought he had all of it then and just dropped it at the last minute, Sam Young.
You're right, he had both hands on it. The kick was weighted perfectly to the back of the marking contest and just didn't hang on. But ball up top of the square, neither ruckman touch it. Umpire waves play on. Miller retreats to Egan, who will spit it wide off the footy though. The umpire's picked up a free kick. And it's going to go the way at the top of the goal square of North Ballarat. I was following the action, but
it was off the ball free kick, Brad McGowan. Off play, and Granger Barras went to ground, and Lever's now got his hands on his knees. What actually happened?
Yeah, it was Muir and Granger Barras wrestling after the ball left, and Muir just pulled him down to the ground. As you said, it sort of ended up being 10 metres off the ball, but it's turned out that Granger Barras has a free kick in the goal square.
So Granger Barras directly in front, top of the goal square, to become the first mobile goal kicker of the afternoon. Should have no mistake, the man that's going to this round leading the Locket. Right foot kicks on its way. He pops it through. And North Ballarat get the first of the second term to go to 4-1-25 on the Metro scoreboard to Sunbury's 2-goal straight 12.
Disheartening for Sunbury after
cheap goal.
Yeah, they did quite well to actually exit the ball out of 50. And yeah, I don't really know what's been happening between those two. We know that Muir was a bit sore from earlier on.
And that was a contest with Granger Barras, so maybe there was a bit of ill feeling.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it was, because they were both slow to get up earlier.
So ball back in the middle of the ground. A couple of minutes into the second quarter here at Mar Stadium for D2E Gyms. From Delacombe to Wendouree, never too far from a D2E. Collins judged that umpire ball up perfectly, tapped it out in the wing. Not going to go far though, it's going to force another ball up. It's on the Creswick Road side of the ground here, inside the centre square. Collins versus Muir. Ball into ground. Ball came back to McGuigan, over to Quinlan for North Ballarat, on to his skipper in Leonard. He's going to be on his non-preferred left, snaps it inside 50, but Lever, as we've become accustomed to here in the Ballarat Football League, takes an intercept mark, kicks it out to Bramble.
Comes across the fence, 55, Bramble for Sunbury. Deep in the left back pocket. Looks to go to the broadcast side, sending the right foot kick. Scanlon not allowed access to the drop of the ball, and the mark's taken in the end by Morris. He's spending a long time off the ground working with the trainer, so we'll keep an eye on him as he thumps one towards full forward with the right foot kick. At the base, Granger Barras again, both hands to it, just couldn't hang on. It's off his hands and through for a minor score, 4-2-26. North Ballarat moved to Sunbury's 2-goal straight 12.
Thumps one was the correct word, Youngie. You could hear in the effects mic, he thumped that 60 to 70 metres with the breeze. Beautiful kick by Morris for North Ballarat.
So Sunbury, conscious that they are kicking against what we suspect is a 3 or 4 goal breeze, genuinely trying to slow play up at the moment. North Ballarat, on the other hand, are attacking. Ball's out in the wing in the hands of Bromley Lynch for North Ballarat. He handballs to Penny, goes on to his left boot. Granger Barras, he finds himself in front. Didn't have to put his hands up over his head that time. Brad McGowan took it on the chest.
It's just a beautiful kick by Penny. Sunbury had an extra 2 players at the back of that contest, but they were all taking the back space. Granger Barras was the only one that wanted the front space and wanted to lead towards the footy. Perfect kick by Penny to his advantage.
So he'll line up from about 25 to 30 metres out from goal, probably on about a 45-degree angle. So the wind here is blowing across from the broadcast position towards Creswick Road. So it actually should work to his advantage. He probably should start it perhaps at that right post and have it fade left. Let's see if he can do just that. He comes in now. starts it at the right post and misses. Good advice, Roger.
Yeah, I was actually thinking maybe aim more left post and see if they come back. I don't know. Anyway, he's kicked more goals than both of us, so we'll let DGB make the call.
Final score, missed opportunity there for North Ballarat to get some separation on the Metro scoreboard. They only now lead by 15 points. Really should have been 20. Lever plays on, runs his full 15, and high ball will hold up in the breeze out towards the broadcast side. In front, Egan used his size but couldn't complete the mark. Jolie came through and it's off his boot, and the boundary umpire has keen eyes. Has called for the lasso. The
umpire's called, the boundary called for the lasso, and their field umpire called for the
it was
off, for the throwing. I think the field umpire's made a mistake here.
Yeah, it was off the boots. The young boundary umpire was 100% correct. Morris
now he doesn't even know who's supposed to be taking the free kick.
Well, as any good player should do, Morris very quickly react and get the footy.
Yeah, he was smart enough, but
he can now load up again with another booming kick inside forward 50. Thumps it long to the top of the square once again. One for the high flyers. It gets at the back. Quick. Unable to keep it in, and as he tried to fist the back, it's actually smashed into his opponent's face. That's gone through for a minus score. 4-4-28. North Ballarat moved to Sunbury's 2 goal straight 12.
I think Sunbury are going to find this very hard to even get the ball inside 50, let alone score this quarter.
Pearce plays on from fullback for Sunbury. Kicks it just outside 50. And once again, they've turned it over at the most important part of the ground. In the end, the recipient's going to be, I think it's Lamb. Snaps on his right boot. McGuigan it is, and a very cheap goal to North Ballarat, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, Coach Matty White for Sunbury is going to be disappointed with that. Sunbury moved the ball out wide for a start, like they should up against the breeze, but then they brought it back through the middle, and you would say, hey, don't go through the middle unless you're certainly on and you can execute that kick. Keep it wide, because at least if you turn it over, it's then an extra kick towards goal. That kick was through the middle, missed it pretty poorly, and it was an easy goal for North Ballarat in the end. North Ballarat now skip away 5-4-34 to Sunbury 2-0-12.
I'll cross down to our man Sam Treasure for an update on just how stiff that breeze really is here at Mars Stadium.
Yeah, it's steady, Sam. I wouldn't say it's changed too much since the start of the game. It is still definitely there.
Good to know, as it's favouring North Ballarat and favouring on the score sheet. It's back underway here. Jolie in the ruck against Johnston, the two non-preferred number one choices. And now pass with the free kick in the ruck. And it's going to go the way of Daniel Johnston, who might be the option to... Egan, sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, Bromley Lynch copped him high. Every time Egan touches it, Bromley Lynch is there to whack him, tackle him, do something to make it harder for him.
Ben Meister will go with a short pass over the top. Mark taken there by Walker. Between centre wing and half forward on the broadcast side for Sunbury. Punches it low inside 50. It's fisted away by the North Ballarat defence. Egan follows up. Left foot snap. How about that? As clinical and classy as you like, Brad McGowan. One entry, one goal. Jake Egan threads the needle.
Yeah, that was beautiful by Egan. And I just mentioned that Bromley Lynch was staying right with him. Well, he was within a metre, but he got a block or a shepherd, did Jake Egan for Sunbury. That's all the space he needed. He looks like their sort of major avenue to goal, and certainly out of a stoppage. He's the class above player, but Sunbury were finally able to get the ball inside 50 through that good work around the stoppage. They seem to find it very hard once they're pinned down in their defence to get it out. So they're going to need to continue to try and win the ball at centre bounce and get it forward if they're going to score much this quarter.
Almost halfway through the second quarter on the Metro scoreboard, North Ballarat 5-4-34. Leading Sunbury 3 goals straight 18. They haven't had many entries this quarter, Sunbury, but they've taken advantage of that one for sure. Johnson continuing in the ruck for Sunbury, but Morris for North Ballarat is up to the task. He sharks it, gives it over to Lewis. Lewis kicks to a man all by himself in the forward pocket, and he doesn't need any room like that, Jamie Quick, to make you pay, and he's marked at around 25 metres from goal in the forward pocket on a fairly acute angle, Brad McGowan.
Oh, it was just beautiful stoppage work. I couldn't work out why Bromley Lynch didn't stand next to his opponent. It's because he wanted Morris to be able to wrap around behind the back. Beautiful stoppage work, set up this shot on goal.
So he has 6 goals for the season. Jamie Quick, he now has 7. He's first for the afternoon, and North Ballarat have kicked their 6th. They're 6-4-40, leading Sunbury 3 goals straight 18 on the Metro scoreboard.
North Ballarat have gone inside 59 times this quarter. Sunbury have gone in once. When they went in, they did score. But that was just beautiful stoppage work. Perfect tap by Collins in the ruck, as most right-handed rucks do. They tap to their left. Morris for North Ballarat started on the opposite side, so on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, wrapped around onto the left. Beautiful sort of stoppage work. That's what you like to try and do, have a guy wrapping around, and then he was able to run sort of 15 metres out of the stoppage and hit up a target for North Ballarat.
We bring a smile to every midfield coach.
Yep.
That stoppage and now instant response from North Ballarat. We're back underway here at Mars Stadium. Some player was collected high and firm ice coming through. Umpire blindsided, said no free kick. And in the end, another stoppage. It's been a game of stoppages this afternoon, as it's been a contested game in these tricky, windy conditions at Mars Stadium. Collins wins it down. Bromley Lynch slips one tackle, gets handball away towards Morris coming out the front of the stoppage. Couldn't quite go this time. Bramble came back to trap, was collected heavily. And the non-official umpires come in and seen that there was high contact.
Good umpiring.
And it's going the other way of Cody Bramble in defensive side of the middle of the ground, as he'll go out wide. Set the task there for Johnston. Couldn't quite take the mark. Slight back in the corridor. Leonard Wise until it got to Curran. Did well with the side step to get away from the whoopie tackler. Right foot kick will go with a shallow entry to half forward. Tough one for Granger Barras to pick up. Somehow it did. Got boots the ball towards full forward. Quick has to be good below his knees. Ball's in dispute. Comes away with it for Sunbury though, as they clear towards the broadcast side. Big fly on the side. Mark's taken there by Newitt, as he'll go a little lateral ball inside the power.
Takes the mark on the centre-half back line for Sunbury. Slowing things down, looking for options. In the end, he elects to go short to his skipper in Lever, who in turn goes short back to Newitt. Newitt's right in front of us on the wing for Sunbury. Right in the broadcast position here. He goes short again and finds Lever. A bit of kick-to-kick for Sunbury at the moment.
Yeah, this is the patch where they're finding they're breaking down. Can they get the ball inside 50? Generally, they haven't been able to all season from here.
In the end, he hits up Scanlon for Sunbury, who kicks long inside 50. Spoil came from the North Ballarat defence. Sharked by Bygate. His kick was a poor one. Reggie Palmer has speed for North Ballarat. Wasn't able to get it. Came back to Matthew Clark. Over to Dean Muir, who has a shot at goal and misses 3 for behind. Sunbury 3-1-19, North 6-4-40 on the Metro scoreboard. Sam Treasure, just quickly, we haven't seen much of Dean Muir's brother, Joel, since that incident where he gave away the free kick and got hit where it really hurts. Is there any update on him?
No, he's down here on the bench, Roger, getting ready to check back in, so I must have heard him, but not too much.
Gluck will come from full-back and we'll go long towards the outside. Use all that 15 metres to his advantage. Morris able to mark, spills to Lewis, goes back to now Morris. Stiff arm was superb to get away from the whoopie tackle. Left foot kick around the body. How's that? Finds the target. North Ballarat will go quickly inside. Lockett only went to one Duke. Could take the mark. Bounced off his opponent though. Handball off to Curran, who was flying through. Inside go North Ballarat. Right foot kicks comes to the goal face. Towards full forward and all the way home.
Wow, that was good ball movement. Wonderful play by North Ballarat. Those two star halfbacks that we've talked about, Sam Glover and Josh Morris, did all the work to get it to midway, and then Lockett and the forwards got together to kick that goal.
Henry Shea, his first game, kicks his first goal, and beautiful kick it was on the run. Came in to replace his brother, who is out injured. How often would you see that? One brother out, one brother in, and get my chance because my brother's gone down with an injury. But he's a boy from the Ararat Rats. Ararat Rats, obviously a very strong club in the Women's League. The last 3 premierships, I think. So certainly comes from good stock, does Henry Shea. And North Ballarat has skipped out here to a 21-point lead. Collins won the hit out for North Ballarat. Ball comes to ground. Arts goes in strongly. This does Pierce for Sunbury, and then the umpire will ball the ball up inside the centre square. It's ticked over around 18 minutes now in this second quarter. Muir back in the ruck for Sunbury, wins out. Arts roves the ball. I don't know what he was trying to do there. He kicked it about 5 metres. And he's good enough to go back and win it. Handballed over towards Thomas Palmer. Got round one very cleverly. Handball towards Lamb. Tapped it on to Faulkner. Back in the direction of Collins. He's got players running at him. Kick is smothered. Came back to Collins. Went on his left boot. Lux of Fortune. Lockett's by himself in the pocket, rolled over his head. That's going to be out of bounds on the Crescent Road side of the ground, 25 metres from goal.
Gents, Dean Muir has come to the bench. It looks like a left shoulder or collarbone. He sort of did in that last contest. So it's one to keep an eye on. And as I say that, it looks like Gallant as well is limping to the bench. So
yeah, he got kicked in the shins.
Few members down for Sunbury right now.
Inside forward 50. Big tap by Collins to a dangerous area. Newitt getting back. Hand pass was partially smothered. Newitt's collected heavily coming through. And he's down. And I was collected high. He hasn't moved very well since the contact was made.
So he has got a free kick, so he's got time to get to his feet, but he's very slow doing that.
I think it was Leonard, the man that came
through. He looks really
through.
shaky on his feet, doesn't he? Look at him. Bit wobbly.
Went past the footy and collected the man, and definitely in the AFL it's one they'd be looking at. Let's put it that way. When he elects to bump. High ball down the line there by Muir. Or trying to intercept. Handball has not worked for power for Sunbury. It was a bit wide in the direction there of a teammate Aaron Bramble. We can't get away from the tackle, and in the end, a stoppage is the result.
So, Roger, we talked about the tribunal. You helped us earlier today. What in that example there, that'll probably get looked at. So how would that work?
So the umpire would put in a referral to the league to say, can you look at this incident in the second quarter involving Muir?
Yep.
And then they would send that probably to their match review panel for a look if they deem so, and it goes from there.
Okay.
Sunbury won a free kick, tried to go quickly by hand, almost coughed it up. Good tackle by there by Lewis as they didn't gain any territory from that. And there was a little bit of evidence there they could just get the footy on the boot, Brad McGowan, to get territory.
They are starting to look to run and carry a little bit more by handball, but yes, possibly could kick it.
Back on the way here. Quick handball forward to Leonard, who goes over the shoulder. Lewis kept it going with the hand pass to McGuigan for North Ballarat. Towards full forward. Granger Barras on the lead. Dropped it again. Not for the first time. He got two hands to it and couldn't complete the mark. Sunbury's survived this occasion. Handball over the top. Finds his target. Lever will come out towards the broadcast side in the Murphy Boyd direction. Unkind bounce for him as it skipped on and favoured the captain and Lamb. He retreats back to Glover. Standing to that left foot kick good as he finds Harvey Lewis on the defence side, centering on the broadcast side.
He's right in front of the interchange boxes here at Mars Stadium. In the end, dangerously goes back. Fortunately for him, Jared Curran is up to the task in defensive 50. He plays on and goes right out the other side of the ground. Penny nearly takes a mark of the year, dropped it in the end, and Sunbury are going to win the turnover. They'll do so, in this case, through Eels. His handball was a poor one, and Penny's able to win it back. His kick was smothered. Bromley Lynch goes in hard for North Ballarat, kicks it forward, back in the direction of Eels. Might have been taken high. Gets support from a teammate in Riley. In the end, North Ballarat smothered. Long kick towards Granger Brush, who's by himself. Handball over the top. And Jamie Quick will walk it in and kick North Ballarat's 8th goal for the afternoon. 8-4-52, Sunbury 3-1-19. What happened there, Brad?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. We all looked up and realised that Granger Brash was the only person inside 50 for North Ballarat, all by himself, and was able to mark the ball. It looked like Sunbury were trying to get some changes and rotations done, and that didn't quite work, or rotations happened at the wrong time because it left the North Ballarat player in Granger Brash all by himself. Quick kick. It was really the turnover again. It was another goal from turnover at halfback against Sunbury that caused the problem.
We'll go around thanks to Go Vita, your local health source. The basketball 13-9, 87 to Lake Wendouree, 3 behinds. As we'll stick with the footy action, get some more updates from around the grounds. Egan's unable to gather. Handball inside came from North Ballarat by from Quinlan. Misses target. Lamb, hurried kick. Ricochet between a couple of players. Now Miller for Sunbury will spit it wide there to find the teammate, and Levers on the end of it. Left foot kick's got to be good, and it is. Finds his target. Mark's taken there by Clark. Called the play on. Right foot kick towards the full forward position is a wobbly one at best. North Ballarat get the spoil in there. Off the footy, Glover's dealt with. Free kick will go the way. Oh, sorry, Penny's been dealt with, and a free kick will go the way of North Ballarat. Redan 5-5-35 lead Ballarat 4-7-31 in that game there at City Oval.
So kick comes out towards the interchange benches. Umpire didn't pay the mark to Arts for North Ballarat, but he was up to the task and played on quickly. Down the line in the direction of McGuigan. Bit of a foot race. McGuigan, great knock on in the direction of a teammate in Quinlan. Eels comes in to support. Sunbury under incredible pressure here. He's done the 360 spin. It's got to be holding the ball, doesn't it? And Will Quinlan will win the free kick for North Ballarat around 15 metres from goal. on a 45-degree angle. What did you see, Brad McGowan?
It was just good forward craft in them, wasn't it? It wasn't through science. North Ballarat generally looked to switch the ball. This time they just banged it long down the line, and then they got their small players with that knock on and then forward pressure by Quinlan. He's played a good game, just puts good pressure on, does the right things, uses his speed, and North Ballarat looking to move further ahead.
So Will Quinlan will start his approach from about 30 metres out. The man that goes in Player HQ with all caps in his first and last name.
That's right.
Comes in, 45-degree angle to work with. Distance obviously won't be a problem from here. It's all about the accuracy. And he puts it through no problem. And North Ballarat have 9-4-58 on the Metro scoreboard to Summers 3-1-19 here at Mars Stadium.
So that one he did aim at the left post, and the wind just
Should have
brought it
taken
back.
your advice earlier, shouldn't they, Brad?
Brought it back through the middle for another goal to North Ballarat. Look, Sunbury, as we talked about earlier, they're getting the ball to half forward. They're breaking down in that area. I'm not quite sure that they have a set. They probably do have a set method, but it's just not being executed at the moment. So it's hard to identify what they actually want to do when they're going inside 50. It doesn't look like they're necessarily kicking to a player on the lead. It's just pretty stationary, and North Ballarat have numbers back. We talked before the game about whoever won that North Ballarat half back line or Sunbury half forward line will probably win. Well, it's certainly North Ballarat winning that line at the moment.
For One Life Insurance, those thoughts from Brad McGowan. Play back underway in the middle of the ground. Harry Power for Sunbury wins the clearance, kicks forward, but Penny finds himself in front for North Ballarat. He'll take a mark on defensive 50.
He's been good today.
He has been very good. He's kind of quite a few intercepts, and we'll get some stats on that a little bit later on as Penny comes out wide to the Creswick Road side of the ground to the last goal kicker for North Ballarat. That's Quinlan. Tries to go around. Kick goes off the side of the boot. It will miss its target. Scanlon's come up from Sunbury and he takes the mark. Comes inboard, and I don't know what direction he's headed there, and sure enough, Leonard intercepts for North Ballarat, goes on his left boot in the direction of Jolly, spills over his head, over the back, Jamie Quick, doesn't need a second chance, snaps over the left boot, rolls, goal umpire's called touch through for a behind, 9-5-59, North Ballarat, Sunbury, 3-1-19 on the Metro scoreboard.
Sunbury survive that. Attacking foray and Lever just punches ones out of the fence towards Bramble, work out for the speeds, and the right foot kick will go now towards the corridor. Tough one to mark, but they halve it nicely and go back towards Power to the Lions. And the right foot kicks out in the direction there of Newitt. Slips over in the marking contest. Now caught in a Bromwell Lynch tackle. That's one thing that's impressed me all day with North Ballarat, Brad McGowan, is their tackling has been spot on.
Yep, their pressure's been great, and Bromwell Lynch has been a bit of a leader of that. He's played a great game, doing the in and under hard stuff, the tackling, the pressure, and keeping Jake Lever, the Sunbury star, under wraps.
Time on, second term, off the bootlaces there of Leonard, and it'll be a lasso free kick will go the way of Harry Power, taking side centre wing on the broadcast side to send the Lions into attack in the direction of Scanlon, sits on his head in the air, now pointed the marking contest expertly by Glover, and North Ballarat again look to transition through the defence. Now Bowman will go across defensive 50 to find Curran. He chips over the top towards Palmer. He can go the required distance over the top to find the leading lane. The mark's taken by Quinlan, virtually helps him out of broadcast position as he looks to access maybe the corridor now from this position, or keep it going in the straight lines down the line. Off a standing start, sets a high task. Big fly and a fist coming from Gallant from Sunbury over the back. And again, another great tackle from North Ballarat, this time by Leonard to lock things up 65 metres out from goal.
At least with North Ballarat there, they'd be happy that they didn't get outmarked. Sunbury had extra players. They were forced to go down the line, but North Ballarat able to get it to ground and cause a stoppage.
So ball up, just outside 50. Almost kick smothered off the boot. Came back to Curran, hurriedly inside 50, and Harvey Lewis found himself in the right spot for North Ballarat. He marks inside 50, plays on quickly, goes on to his right boot, long shot at goal. It'll go to the near side, through for a behind. North Ballarat 9-6-60, Sunbury 3-1-19. Quickly around the grounds for Go Vida. Melton 6-6-42, leading Daly 2-6-18 at McPherson Park. So the Bloods well on top down there as the ball brought back into play through Lever. Comes up the middle of the ground. Spall came over the back. Egan roved for Sunbury. Round one, round two. Handball was a dangerous one. Put by, get under pressure. Fortunately, they've got numbers around the footy, and Clark gives it over the top to Newitt for Sunbury. Inside 50 now. Shot on goal from about 35 metres out from goal. Sunbury get a very quick response, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, it was fantastic movement by Sunbury. It was risky. They came against the breeze, straight up the...
Fancy his chances here from outside the arc.
That was clever because I think that lockdown sign means that Sunbury have a spare defender. They've got now 2 players behind the ball. North Ballarat, if I just bomb it in, we can't score. So I've got to lower the eyes and use someone at the top of the 50-metre arc.
So Collins from outside 50. Thumps a long ball. Long and strong. And how about your first goal for the club? Pops it through. North Ballarat get the instant response. 10 goals, 666 on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury's 4-125.
They just have all the answers at the moment, North Ballarat. They're doing well at the stoppages. They're organised at half-back. And their ball movement has just been better than Sunbury, going inside 50, where they've lowered their eyes and looked for marking targets as opposed to bombing to one-on-one contests all the time.
Around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store, Melton 7648, Darley 2820, Lakewanderee 1410, Trail Sebastopol 131088, and over at City Oval, Redan 5636, Trail Ballarat 5838. Play back underway in the middle. Good smother out of the clearance from Carey for North Ballarat. Came the direction of Quinlan, who gave it back to Elliot Lamb for North Ballarat. Kicks inside 50, Lockett. Clever use of his arms and body. Just pushed the Sunbury opponent to the side. And Mark then came inboard and finds Josh Morris, who will mark about 40 metres from goal.
Jake Egan for Sunbury just looks... his body language is pretty poor. He just looks so frustrated. He was the one that came out of that stoppage for Sunbury, handballed it forward and turned it over. He just can't get anything going. Neither can the whole Sunbury team, to be honest. The pressure from North Ballarat has been brilliant.
16 about to come 17 scoring shots to 5 in this matchup. It's one-way traffic in favour of the home side, North Ballarat. And Morris will shoot from 45 metres out. Right foot kicks on its way. This is not a problem, and neither is the accuracy. 11 goals, 6, 72. That is North Ballarat on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury 4-125.
8 goals for the quarter now, Brad, for North Ballarat. 8 goals to 1. It's what can Matt White do to kind of at least stem the tide between now and half-time?
Well, that's right. He's gone to his lockdown method. As we look up now, Sunbury are keeping a spare defender at that end of the ground. So they're trying to stop the North Ballarat movement. There is no 6-6-6, so they can keep one back. But they also just need to try and slow the game down with the way they move the ball.
Back on the way here at Mars Stadium. One down the ruck there by Collins. But Sunbury with the clearance as Powell will send it wide in the direction there of Walker. Was he held with that? Umpire said no. Carey sends it wide towards Lamb. Off the quick for North Ballarat. Full Candy says see you later. Goes to that, what's becoming his preferred left side. Henderson forward is punched away by the Sunbury defence. Muir will go back off to Miller. Tried to draw the hand pass. Wobbly one got to a teammate. As there's an opportunity here for Sunbury to thump it inside 50 through Pearce, but couldn't find a target. North Ballarat with their own spares behind the footy go. Will take the intercept mark deep into the second term here.
So Bowman kicks out onto the wings. Boyle came from Sunbury, and it looks like it's going to be a throw-in. Creswick Road side of the ground. Brad, there can't be much time left in this quarter. No,
that's right. And I think Sunbury are just, well, they need to make sure that North Ballarat don't score again. But North Ballarat just so good on that half-back line, marking the ball each time it comes in.
So Muir up against Collins. Good to see Muir back in the ruck. There was some question marks over him early in the quarter. Copped a nasty kind of groinish injury as Morris picks up from North Ballarat. Kicks inboard to Quinlan. Back to Bromley Lynch. Long inside 50. Kick is off target. Granger Barras leads in the race. Oh, it is met very heavily on the boundary line. There'll be a little bit of push and shove. Granger Barras not happy with that treatment, nor would you be. Players come in to remonstrate here. The umpire says, I'm going to pay a hold in the man free kick, and it's going to go the way of Sunbury skipper Lever against Granger Barras.
Yeah, Granger Barras went over and put Lever down after being put down by him earlier. And it probably was a late hit. He just stepped out of bounds. So Lever didn't slow down and made sure that Granger Barras ended up on his backside.
Lever high ball to the outside. It's going to be cut off by North Ballarat, though. Don't say that too often as...
Penny again.
Yeah, he's been super. He's a smoky contender for that Sporting Globe player today, the way he's had this opening half.
Well, he's been marking the ball as well as kicking it well inside 50 and setting up goals.
That's what he looks to do again. Just pulls, takes up the key in the direction of Lockett. He slides into the pocket, takes a wonderful grab.
They actually look very similar to like Glover as well down there, those both halfbacks.
So after the siren, it'll be Lockett tucked up against the boundary line to make it a 12-goal opening half a footy for North Ballarat. Tough kick, but the new rules can take a couple steps as long as he stays on his line.
I don't know whether that umpire's got that right. He's supposed to stand almost parallel to the mark, but he seems to have gone back out towards the boundary. You know, that should be play on.
It's going to be a long snap.
Well, he's able to walk around, snap around the body, and hit the post. So, unable to get it between the big sticks for a goal. A minor score to finish the opening half, which was all North Ballarat. 11 goals, 73 on the Metro scoreboard. They lead at halftime. Sunbury's 4-1-25. Here at Marseille, we're going to take a break.
Them about what he hoped for in the second half. As you heard Brad McGowan say for One Life Insurance, the game's probably slipped a little bit beyond them now in terms of being that 8-goal margin. But there's still a lot to play for, Sam Young.
Oh, absolutely there is. I mean, yeah, we're only for the Sunbury Lions 14 quarters into season 2026, so there's a lot of lessons and a lot of learning still to take out for the remainder of the season that they can implement here in the second half.
Yeah, someone just need to try and win the ball out of the stoppage and get it inside 50 and keep it in there.
We'll get the second half underway here at Mars Stadium. One end by Muir on the ruck, Egan on the fly. Hand passes back, finds Gallant, right foot kick towards the outer sides. In the direction of a teammate there in Clark, who was unable to gather. North Ballarat will come away with it. Morris, bit of foot candy, gets away from the whoopie tackler. Goes up to Leonard, goes back to a teammate Quigg, and the high fend off is the only thing I can see the umpire's going to pay that for. It's going to go against Jamie Quigg. It's going to go the way of the Sunbury Lions at half back.
It's going to be, I think, a Lever who takes that free kick. Good call, Sam Young. It was a high fend off after he was tackled that caused the turnover as he comes wide to a teammate in Pearce. Hasn't been the worst of them this afternoon, Hamish Pearce for Sunbury. Kicks it out wide and finds a teammate in Sean Riley. His kick barely travels 8 metres, let alone 15. But Lever's up to the task, the Sunbury skipper, and kicks long towards half forward. But getting back to take a strong mark overhead. He's been very impressive. Our first sight of him this year, Seb Collins, the recruit from Sandhurst, I think it is, in the Bendigo League. He plays on, kicks to Carey. Should have been paid the mark. Umpire Bradley does play it. So Carey for North Ballarat goes inboard in the centre of the ground, finds his skipper, Elliot Lamb, who continues this trend of switching play across the ground, finds Curran, who's been good in defence today, comes up the line looking for Faulkner, juggled the mark in the end, which has allowed Sunbury in. Umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of Sunbury on that outer side of the ground here at Mars Stadium.
So Lions to go into attack from centre wing on the outside, potentially. We do have players on the broadcast side that can set up a switch, but Miller plays on and wobbles one to half forward and misses a target. And
horrible kick.
Just real sack going forward. There was gobbled up by Taj Bowman off the first time this afternoon. He'll chip it wide, and North Ballarat with that control, Brad McGowan, as they just look laterally and chip it around and going against the breeze. And eventually find Morris, who wants to be the designated kicker, and bite one off towards half forward. Bit of a worm burn and misses the target. Opens the door for maybe somewhere in the rebound. Miller goes outside to now go back inside with the run and dash. He looks left, he looks right, he goes with the kick instead on the lead. Johnson, it's a good pass. Didn't need to look left to right, just have to go forward and find his key forward on the lead. Johnson
was the only forward really ahead of the footy. Somebody had this big void of players at centre-half forward. So their half-backs keep getting the ball, looking up and going, there's no one to kick to there. I've got to try and run it through that zone and kick it over it. This time it did work.
So the quiet afternoon by his usual high standards as Daniel Johnson has the 5 goals for 2026. Kicks from 50 and misses to the left-hand side. Sunbury get up behind. They go to 4-2-26 Metro on the Metro scoreboard. North Ballarat 11-7-73. Very quick to bring the ball back into play in North Ballarat. Morris has the ball. He's under pressure on the 50-metre defensive line. Bromley Lynch comes in to assist and goes onto his left boot towards the boundary. Great mark by Harvey Lewis, the youngster. Plays on quickly, goes onto his right boot, and suddenly the ball's in the North Ballarat 50. Denver Granger Barras marks, plays on quickly, handballs over the top to Jamie Quick for North Ballarat. Dribbles one into goal, and just too lackadaisical, Brad. He missed it to the left-hand side.
Oh, that's the way Quickie plays, though. It was great movement by North Ballarat down this wing, and they were just able to run and carry the ball and get it 10 metres further each time, which meant that the Sunbury players were sort of proactively positioned in front of their players. Because North could run and carry it, they were able to kick over those proactively positioned Sunbury players and be out the back constantly. Just unable to finish in the end there.
I'm going to do a Kane Corns and put Jamie Quick on nose for kicking on his non-preferred more than his natural. High ball the outside and off hands, out of bounds. He had acres of time.
He did have more time,
and he just went, I'm going to go with $1 million dribble kick on the non-preferred from the pocket. Yeah, he kicks the goal, he looks like a superstar.
Yeah, but it's right in front of the spectators. Maybe that influences.
Well, you know, he does. He is one of the human highlight reels of the competition, that's for sure.
I'm not sure he'd listen if you sent the message out.
Absolutely not. Muir won the knockdown. No one touches it and it goes out of bounds. Gains maybe 5 metres or so with the fist. We'll go again with a boundary throw and run in front of the North Ballarat coaches box here on the broadcast side of Mars Stadium.
I can confirm for Sunbury that Dean Muir has the vest on, so we won't see him for the rest of the day.
Back on the way here, so Sunbury down one on the bench as well officially. Leonard maybe held without it. Umpire away playing. He retreats back to Shea. Oh, foot candy was good. Then the kick of the instep was poor, and that's out of bounds for a lasso. And a free kick the other way of the Sunbury Lions.
So it will be Sunbury and Gallant from the half-back line. He comes inward and finds his skipper in Tyson Lever. He's around 45 metres from the North Ballarat goal, and as has been the custom today, he kicks across goal. Finds a teammate out there in Hamish Pearce. He plays on quickly, and Sunbury looking to move the ball quickly. As Ryan marks on the back line of the centre square. So Sunbury with the football. They're on the Creswick Road side of the ground. Ryan's kick comes to Lever, who's pushed up to take a mark. Really slow ball movement, much to the frustration of our special comments man, Brad McGowan. In the end,
no movement.
Lever just elects to kick long, very strong mark taken over the head by Jake Egan. He juggled it, and the umpire said, no, you've had enough of it to pay the mark. He plays on with a handball onto Clark. Clark from outside 50, shot at goal. Will miss. Just snuck in for a behind in the end. Somebody go to 4-3-27. North Ballarat 11-6-74 on the Metro scoreboard.
It's just not enough movement at centre-half forward. So when the half-backs look up for somebody, they're just like, where do I kick this? Because everyone's standing still. They need to get some leading lanes and some movement to try and have someone naturally draw the footy. There just doesn't seem to be any leadership in that area to draw the footy. Eventually it was Jake Egan, their inside midfielder, that went, okay, everyone out of the way. I'll put my hand up and call for the ball.
Again, some individual brilliance is required for them to create any form of scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
So, with Glover, bring it back underway here for North Ballarat. Left foot kick goes towards the broadcast side. Collins going to be 3. Did well to bring it to ground, and Arts was waiting for the crumbs. 1-2 with Carey goes Sam Arts for North Ballarat. High ball down the line. Lockett against Gallant. Bullets at serve, coming through his heels. Was he collected high? Umpire said no. Taken by Bromley Lynch. Holds things up on Jake Egan. We'll go Bob on the broadcast side.
Interesting pre-game, Matt White said that he thought, sorry, not Matt White, Simon McCartan, that Collins was like another midfielder after the ruck contest. And we've seen that today, haven't we?
Yeah, it is really good, isn't it? The second effort's so important for a ruck.
Shea on debut. Right foot kick towards half forward. Needs to be touched, and the ends off the boot. It's actually out the full.
It should have been.
Granger against Granger Barras, and it'll be a free kick away to Sunbury, but a little conference from the umpires is coming here, asking if it came off hands or if it came off boot. No, it
I
came
reckon
off
you
hand.
were right the first time. I thought that was on the full.
Yeah.
That was the old-fashioned. That could have been lasso or out in the full.
Yeah.
And it's ended up being a throw-in.
So it's a guessing game here at Mars Stadium. We'll get a ball in the half-forward flank for North Ballarat.
Ball comes back into play. Johnson did the ruck work for Sunbury. Came back to Lamb for North Ballarat. Handball. Just went into open space. Quick very cleverly knocked it over his head. Came back to Shea. Kicked long towards the goal square for North Ballarat. It was probably touched off the boot, was it?
It was.
The umpire said he will ball the ball up. The Sunbury player actually thought he'd marked it, but not to know that it was touched off the boot. And it'll be a ball up. Now, quickly down to Sand Treasure. It looks like, is it Elliot Lamb who's coming off the ground under some duress?
Yes, I think, it is, Rog. Yes, I didn't see the contest, but he does look in pain.
Leonard, left foot kick around the body, goes towards the full forward position. Granger Barras will lead the race, but bounces in front of him. Riley's then has to stand underneath and get caught in the Granger Barras tackle. Maybe, hopefully for North Ballarat side, things their captain is just winded.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, boys.
Just gently sucking in the big ones and trying to get back out there to return. Played 8 minutes in his third term. No goals kicked to start the second half. Rifled around the body, was skinny, and in the end, Shea kicks a minus score. As North Ballarat moved to 11 goals at 9.75 on the Metro scoreboard to Sunbury's 4-3-27.
So North Ballarat on top really all over the ground. I know Sunbury have got the breeze, and the breeze does look to have dropped a bit, by the way. But North Ballarat on top around the stoppages. They're the ones that are getting the ball inside their forward 50 despite going up against the breeze.
So it looks like we might have lost footy here too, mate.
That one went on the roof. And just quickly while we're doing that, Brad, I'll go around the grounds to for Go Vito Ballarat, your local health store. So Melton 9.660, Darley 4.12.36, Lake Wendouree 2.5.17, trailing Sebas 17.11, 113. And the other game today is a close one. So Redan 7.648, Ballarat 6.10.46.
Short ball will find its way for Sunbury to Pearce. We'll go back to Lever with a scrubby hand pass, but all ends well as he finds his target in Tentanello. Left foot kick over the top was nice and marked by Spiteri. He'll go inboard and a chant with a few short passes here to Sunbury and gain some territory. Now they retreat back to Pearce with a poor pass. Good enough to get away from quick was Hamish Pearce. Back to Spiteri. He looks to access the corridor, overcooks it. Now the ball's in dispute. Junior ground level for Leonard. Strong. Came through like a wrecking ball and split the pack, and in the end, it's created a stoppage, which is what we'll get in the middle of the Mars Stadium.
So it'll be a ball up in the centre of the ground. Johnson won the hit out. Didn't go to advantage though. Young Tom Palmer went in for North Ballarat to pick the ball up. Brad, it's really slowed down a little bit, stoppage after stoppage at the moment.
Yeah, and even though like the ruck taps, one ruckman keeps winning it cleanly, but it doesn't seem to go to advantage very often at the moment. So both teams, fairly scrappy around the stoppage.
Could have been a free kick for a block to Sunbury. Umpire said play on. Ball came out in the direction of Spiteri. Kicked long into the forward line. Ball went to ground. Glover quick enough for North Ballarat to get back. Gives it to Morris for North Ballarat onto Curran. Goes onto the right boot, long outside 50 and finds Arts right on defensive 50 for North Ballarat. Creswick Road side of the ground.
The standard and difference in ball use is outstanding this afternoon. As North Ballarat continue to find targets as Arts went short and they go down the line to the Roosters, and the mark is taken by Quinlan. Defensive side centre wing, draws the man with a hand pass. Opportunity for Carey to go for a run with one bounce. And he'll thump it inside forward 50 towards Granger Barras. It won't get there. McGuigan fills the lane in front and in the end takes the mark.
That was just a training drill. It was well done by North Ballarat, and you've talked about it. It's that second year of embedding this game style for North Ballarat, this ball movement, spacing, leading lanes. It's all there. It's the stuff they would train over and over again. And it just looks beautiful at the moment.
It's the shape going forward as well. Granger Barras playing that old traditional full forward and stretching and lengthening this ground even further. And just making North Ballarat so dangerous every single time they transition from half back towards the full forward position. McGuigan, the beneficiary this time with the mark. Can he kick the first goal of the second half? Right for kick, we on its way. Go right to the line, won't have the distance. It's off hands and alive. And boots the ball.
Your man, Jamie Quick.
It's there.
There he is.
There's a slight conference, but a goal has been given. And North Ballarat get through quick to start the second half. They're 12th.
So Quick just read the play well. He is that third tall sort of player, so can come up high and then go back in with the flight of the ball because of that constant movement. He's a really hard player to play on. Gets to the drop and is able to kick the goal from the goal square. He's a clever player.
He has 3 for the afternoon, does Jamie Quick, the ultimate opportunist. Kicks the ones he probably shouldn't and misses the ones he probably should, would be a good way to describe Jamie, but he's kicked 3 more goals than me this afternoon, which would be so critical.
Right foot then.
Makes the hard look easy and the easy look hard.
It's not preferred right foot.
Exactly. Play back underway in the middle. Newitt couldn't pick up the ball and Morris was able to go back in for North Ballarat and do so, but he was tackled straight away. So umpire Jones comes in and says, we will repeat what we just did, throw the ball in the air. Jolly doing the ruck for North Ballarat at the moment. Jumped high. Johnson won it. Very clever from Scanlon as Sunbury kicked the ball forward. Bowman, who's been excellent this afternoon, mops up, kicks it inboard, put Jolly under pressure. Got help from Lamb. On to Penny. Penny long towards the goal square, one-on-one. Was Granger Brass held? Umpire said no. Somebody with the weight of numbers. Their skipper, Lever, is able to clear. Kicks outside defensive 50. Big fly from Scanlon. He jumped too early. It'll be a free kick going the way of Elliot Lamb, the skipper for North Ballarat, and he is right on the forward half of the centre square on the Crescent Road side of the ground.
Lamb to send the Roosters back into attack after an unrealistic marking attempt there from Paddy Scanlon. Looks left, looks right. Dinky little kick forward to Lockett. Had fisted away. Able to wrap around to his non-preferred left boot towards the full forward position. Gallant forces the ball for Sunbury. Not out of danger though. Granger Barras retreats. Squaring kick from North Ballarat was clever. Taken by Power, and then it was picked his pocket there was Ryan, who comes out towards the broadcast side. Boy, well, Glover to beat.
Great mark.
Just reached over the top and almost floated a little bit there, did Sammy Glover with now time was in the air. And he finds Morris with the required 15-minute pass. 60 metres out against the breeze. Will be too far for him. Set one up for the high flyers, and then he pulls it to the pocket in the quick direction. On hands and knees. I think it bounced off the bonnet of Jamie Quick. In the end, it creates a stoppage.
Some pretty sore and tired players out there, Brad McGowan, as you speak. Slow to get up from contest. Plenty of hands on hips.
Yeah, well, it's been a fairly intense first half. This half has petered out, or this quarter's petered out a little bit. But, yeah, certainly plenty of pressure and lots of tackles.
Miller for Sunbury. Clears the ball outside 50, but straight back into the hands of the man that kicked it in there, in Sam Glover. Came back to the club full-time this year after a very successful stint at Collingwood VFL, and he's showed his class again this afternoon. Looks for the lead. Lewis courageously could have got a free kick for an arm truck. Umpire said no. That allowed somebody to come in through Boyd, and they're able to clear through Lever. You might have heard Sam Young's reaction there. The old mongrel punt along the ground went nowhere. Allowed Curran to get back to get it to Bowman, out to Arts on the wing.
So Arts can go for a bit of a run. He's got plenty of space. Pulls the kick to half forward. Measured it perfectly. Quicken. Grab his head for his size. Couldn't complete the mark on this occasion. Handballed inside forward 50 by North Ballarat, and in the end the stoppage is the result.
The other impressive thing about North Ballarat is not only is their leading lanes, but the players are playing their role. The small forwards keep getting to the crumbs. They're always the first player in to get the crumbs, and that allows them to keep moving the ball.
Jolly wins it down, but going nowhere from the tap. It's almost bees to a honeypot sort of stuff this term. Plenty of stoppages for the umpires to get a touch and feel of the footy. Johnson doing the ruck work, came away with it. Walker's kick was past his mother, but came back to now him, and then Power as Sunbury spit it wide. Boyd will go over the top with a searching ball. Tough one for Scanlon to grab it at the bottom of his bootlaces, and then tried to hack it up the deck, and he poorly did so. North Ballarat looked to go inside with the hand pass from Glover to his almost clone in Penny, who was caught in the tackle, and the ball upset the result.
So the ball will be thrown in the air on the outer side here at Mars Stadium. Played 16 minutes in the third quarter, and North Ballarat well in front, 75-27 as the ball runs over the boundary line. It's 11 goals, 9, 75. Sunbury 4-3-27. That's on the Metro scoreboard. Enjoying the coverage this afternoon for D2E gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree, and never too far from a D2E. As the ball comes back into play, it'll be Jolly and Johnson. Jolly used his body really well and hit it to Quinlan. kicked it on the right side of his boot and found a target in Lockett, who plays on quickly now, kicks long towards the goal square. Denver Granger Barras finds himself in front. Really clever use of the body initially, Brad McGowan, and takes a mark at the top of the goal square.
Yeah, it was just all set up by Joel Lockett. How good was he at centre-half forward? He has presented all day and generally led his opponent to the ball. He's either marked it or it's fallen in front of him. And that, on that occasion, able to mark, then wheel around and get it inside 50. If you're Denver Granger or Barras, you're happy with that sort of delivery.
So DGB has 2 already, 14 for the season, directly in front, top of the goal square. Should get his 3rd, which he does. And North Ballarat have their 13th of the afternoon. So they move to 13 goals, 9-87 on the Metro scoreboard to Sunbury's 4-3-27.
So Denver Granger Barras is moving his life back to Perth midway through this season. He's got a couple of games to go. I wonder if they can convince him to stay, because he's...
Or even get him to fly in, fly out for some of the big games, maybe.
Yeah, that's right, because he's just so important for them structurally. Just allowing Lockett to play high and have at that centre-half forward sort of position, he's having a fantastic influence there. Both players are fairly similar in build and the way they play, but it's just so important to their structure to have them both.
So we played 18 minutes in this 3rd term, and we're back underway. Those 2 number 20s in the ruck again. Collins got the tap. Bronwyn Lynch will retreat with the hand pass, finds way to Shea. Rifle kicking the out of side was in the direction of Lewis. He couldn't quite gather below his bootlaces. Power for Sunbury. Went once, went twice, and still couldn't pick it up. Well played by Palmer. Got away with the looping hand pass, and Quinlan will go inside forward 50 towards Granger Barras. He's ushered out of the way that time by Riley expertly. Hammer was too hot though for Lever. Opens up the mistake and an opportunity for North Ballarat to lock it inside forward 50 once again, which they have done deep in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, Sunbury just really getting beaten out of the middle. We might get some stats for you pretty soon, but it just seems like North Ballarat are on top in all facets of the game right now.
So the ball will be thrown in the air, almost beside the behind post at the North Ballarat end of the ground, or the end with they're kicking to this quarter.
They've been down that end quite a bit, Rog. 12 inside 50s North Ballarat up against the breeze to Sunbury's 4 with the breeze.
There you go. Ball thrown up. Johnson won it down to Miller for Sunbury. Dribbled it along the boundary line. Ball, fortunately for them, went over the head of the North Ballarat player, but they've got plenty of numbers in support. The ball comes back inboard. Lewis. Ball came out to Bowman, who's drifted forward from 40 metres out from goal as a shot and misses to the right-hand side. He deserved that, did Taj Bowman. He's been terrific today. North Ballarat 13-10-88, Sunbury 4-3-27 on the Metro scoreboard.
I think he can smell a Palmer at the Globe, can't he?
Or a steak.
Yeah, or a steak. There's plenty of sport to watch at this time of year. He's thinking, hey, I could get hold of one of those.
Short pass for Sunbury, finds it to Lever, who goes to traditional centre back route with a kick, and was to Newitt. Gave the handball receive back to Lever. He dumps it towards half forward. Curran did well from behind the spoil against Johnston, and then the wave of numbers again all suit North Ballarat. It seems like they've got extra players out there. They've just got men everywhere as they go towards the corridor. Mark's taken there by Morris.
Good call, Youngie. That's exactly what it looks like.
Well, I must admit, when you look out there, Sunbury aren't manning up in the midfield, are they? They're not playing on a player. It looks like they've got a zone that's not working, by the way. They should just get a man.
Morris goes down the middle, fist away from Collins. Numbers now with Sunbury at the drop of the ball. Lever, look away hand pass to Muir, to Scanlon, back to Lever, who retreats with his hand pass off to a teammate. And they have Bramble out here on the broadcast so they can find the speed. So he takes the mark. He's corralled on the mark initially. Chips it to full forward, good pass. Johnson takes the grab. Just perfectly weighted onto his lead. And he have a shot on goal.
Yeah, that was better by Sunbury, wasn't it? They were able to cause a turnover, then just used the ball cleverly. Didn't rush and bomb it in. Took their time. And Johnson's been a good target for them. He's just generally been at full forward, so he's been sort of 70 metres from the ball all the time. When they can finally get through that centre-half forward range and find Johnson, he's been pretty effective.
So Johnson starts his approach from 40 metres out. Right behind this kick with the best seats in the house, thanks to our good friends at D2E Gyms. But in the end, he's stuck it out to the left and hasn't come back for a minor score.
Yeah, sorry, when I say effective, he's been able to mark the ball. I'm not sure he's been able to kick as accurately as he would have liked today.
And when you're talking 4 entries or 5 entries for the quarter, it's not exactly good service, is it? So He's trying to take advantage of the opportunities, just can't kick straight as the ball comes back in from fullback and finds young Shea. Done some good things this afternoon, young Henry Shea, the boy from the Ararat Rats. He comes very short and finds Penny, who's been excellent. Plays on the left boot, comes up the line in front of us. Finds Lockett. Lockett inboard. All of a sudden, Leonard's by himself. Handball onto young Tom Palmer. Tom Palmer goes inside 50 for North Ballarat. Quinlan's by himself, but the kick fell short, and Sunbury able to get the numbers back through Hamish Pearce. And I reckon he's been one of the better players for Sunbury this afternoon, young Hamish Pearce. He's done a couple of nice things. He comes inboard and finds Bramble, his first game back in 12 months after an ACL. Gets it on to Walker. Somebody coming through the middle of the ground now. Kicks in the direction of Murphy. Boyd goes over his head, and Tash Bowman has been a superstar. He cleans up. Gets it for North Ballarat over to Carey. Comes over to Reggie Palmer's marked out in the wing for North Ballarat.
Back to Bowman, back to Carey as they all connect via a chain of hand pass. And North Ballarat got a half forward now with a searching ball. Land's going to be tough. And a direct opponent running the other way, and Sunbury come away with it. Short pass, finds a target and power. He'll look to access the corridor, but he's picked at the one North Ballarat player in the middle of all three of them in arts. He goes around the body and finds a target inside 450, and Quinlan wants to go quickly, sends it into the pocket, and Lockett takes the grab.
Could have raffled that.
Yeah, Sam Arts' kick was a bit lucky. He didn't really look.
Yeah.
He just turned and banged it on the boot. It happened to fall in nicely. And Lockett's got it again for North Ballarat. He's been sensational at centre half forward. He's really making this whole connection between back line, midfield and forward line work so well.
And working hard, like he had the ball up on the wing here for a kick up the line before, and now down beside the behind post.
Looks like he's shaping up to go left foot around the body, tucked up in the right forward pocket. About 30 metres out. That's what he does. Left foot snap is across the face, and in the end, somehow stayed in the field of play, and the mark's been taken by Boyd. Remarkably. So no score registered to North Ballarat from that shot on goal from
I think it's actually Pearce that's got it again. He's taken a couple of nice grabs down there today.
It is Pearce, you are right. High ball down the line. Eels unable to impact the contest. Arts outside the boot. Bootlaces are quick. Couldn't quite gather. Palmer. The same for North Ballarat. I'll get another stoppage inside forward 50 with another entry. We've gone 24 minutes in this third term, and it's just rinse and repeat. All North Ballarat here at Mars Stadium.
Yeah, they're just set up so well now. They've got numbers set up, a wall behind the ball, and their forwards are getting on the move through the stoppage and looking dangerous.
Ball thrown in the air. Sunbury through. Power able to clear. Egan got in front for Sunbury. Handball to Scanlon, dropped it. Carey mops up for North Ballarat to Bromley Lynch. To Curran outside 50 into 50. Now give it to Granger Barras. Dropped it. Ball went to Grant. Granger Barras drops the ball that he probably should have taken. Handball's over direction of his skipper in Leonard. Tries to put ball to boot, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. So we're about 35 metres from the North Ballarat goal. We're 25 minutes into the third quarter, and it's North Ballarat comfortably 10 goals in front here. The D2E Gems from Jellicoe to Wendouree, never too far from a D2E. Hit out one by Jolly for North Ballarat, down to Leonard. Handball came on the outside to Reggie Palmer, went onto his right boot, well smothered off the boot by Lever, and the ball trickles out of bounds around 35 metres from the North Ballarat goal. They're kicking to the Creswick right end of the ground.
I can give you an update on the AFL, boys. In the blockbuster between West Coast Eagles and Richmond, Eagles are leading by 1 point. It's 1-0 at the moment.
Thank you very much for going via to Brad McGowan with that exciting update.
How would Richmond go in this in the BFL, do you think, boys? They go all right at the moment? I know they've got a lot of injuries, but...
You go to the top, finds Spiteri for Sunbury. He'll play on and thump it towards true centre forward, but in the end, it's too much of a kick. And Karen plays best game of the season thus far.
100% agree. He's been good, hasn't he?
He'll go laterally to find Glover.
It's easy to play well when the opposition kick the ball to you.
Yes.
Well, that's very true too.
And he goes to require 15 to find Arts.
Wouldn't mind seeing Arts' numbers as well.
Yeah, he's been industrious. As he chips over the top and finds Carey. As they continue just to chip it around, keep possession going into the breeze. Isaac Carey caught the play on now. Pulls the kick, and McGuigan gets it late. There'll be a 15-minute penalty as McGuigan marks. Johnson gave him the old ear massage and some. And it'll bring McGuigan from defensive side centre wing towards half forward.
Yeah, it was just a bit late and a bit lazy, wasn't it? Johnson made him earn it, so to speak. 50-metre penalty put him 55 out from goal.
Yeah, won't have the distance against the breeze, but can set one up for his side.
Geez, that was a short 50. It happened inside the square.
Handball off the Lamb. We go into the pocket. Gets at the back. Palmer was unable to gather. Walker clears initially, only as far as Collins takes the mark. That one from this distance at the other end of the ground. 55 from goal.
Just quickly down to Sam Treasure. Was that McGuigan coming off the ground with blood coming from his nose area, Sam?
Yeah, correct, Roger. Just getting that patched up now.
Was that from that marking contest?
Yeah, I think it was.
So Collins shows the thumping kick, but against the breeze, this would be an effort. He launches, has the accuracy, won't have the distance. Offhands Jolie, now quick, with a miraculous left foot snap over the shoulder. In the end, he's been lucky to scrape it through for a minor score. 13 goals, 11.89 on the Metro scoreboard. That is North Ballarat. The Sunbury's 4-4-28.
Lever did put Quick down after he kicked that. That's why the crowd were oohing and ahhing a little bit. Quick, again, just playing that sort of third tour role where he didn't need to jump. He just read the ball at the... It makes a beautiful slapping sound and goes at 50 to 60 metres.
So it'll be Tyson Lever to bring the ball back into play for Sunbury. He plays on out of full-back and comes out to the broadcast or grandstand side here at Mars. Muir for Sunbury to Bramble. Off to Egan. His handball got turned over. Dom Penny picks up for North Ballarat. His handball got intercepted. Comes back to Muir, looks for Scanlon, put him under pressure. Now they're in real sorts. Umpires let him get away with a poor handball, and Gallant clears up for Sunbury to Newitt, onto Bramble in the middle of the ground for Sunbury, streaming through the ground off the outside of the boot to no real advantage, and Taj Bowman and co just clean up time and time again. He's kicked it out wide and find Arts for North Ballarat.
Over the top, should find his teammate, and Lamb will give the drawing hand pass in the direction of Carey. Force hack of deck as Muir's coming the other way. And he's down and feeling very sorry for himself after that contact is Carey. So we'll keep an eye on him. It's a short pass over the top by Egan was clever to find Bramble.
Yeah, the handball was just a bit too far out in front of him. He just had to sort of kick it off the ground and got cleaned up straight down the middle.
Lateral ball by Sunbury from Bramble found its way to Gallant. He'll draw the man as they look to go down the middle of the corridor. Tensinello with the right foot kick. Out in front, nice mark taken there by Clark. Didn't have to break stride. Turns on the afterburst. Little left foot dribbling kick to the goal square. Won't get all the way through. The goalkeeper on the end of the line there is Curran to see for a rush behind.
Just great pressure by Dom Penny there. Like he's a taller player that was just able to put enough pressure on the speedster from Sunbury and cause him to rush the kick. It would have been an easier goal, but the good pressure again by Penny, who's been one of the better players on the ground.
So it's Glover for North Ballarat. Plays on out of that kick out and kicks it straight to Tyson Lever. His opposing captain from Sunbury. Kicks inboard, finds Harry Power. He's outside 50. Sunbury kicking to the Creswick Road end. Power kicks low and long. Probably dropped a mark. He should have Pierce. North able to clean up through Palmer. Kicks on the outside of the boot up to the centre wing. Broadcast side of the ground. Jolly can't pick it up. Free kick for a high tackle could have been paid to Walker. Umpire in the end said no holding the ball. Paid advantage. Lockett picks it up. Lockett didn't want the advantage out of interest, and Sunbury are able to turn it over through Lever. He goes onto his left boot, kicked it across the ground to no one in particular. Foot races on, led by Reggie Palmer. Takes one bounce, takes two, kicks inside 50 for North Ballarat beautifully, and finds Harvey Lewis in the forward pocket around 35 metres from goal.
Well done, Palmer. Just his ability to change pace and change angles, weaved his way through traffic, and then hits up a player who was sliding back towards goal. Good ball movement again by North Ballarat, and again off a turnover from Sunbury.
So they cracked the ton. Lewis will come in. Right foot kicks on its way. Umpire does not move an inch. The Roosters have their 15th of the afternoon to move to 15-12. 102 on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury 4 goals, 5-29 trail.
I'm probably a bit old-fashioned with the ball movement in this quarter. I would say I'd be, as a Sunbury coach, I'd be going, let's just move it wide. Let's keep it wide, because when we turn it over, I don't want to be scored against so badly.
And that seems to have happened a lot today, doesn't it?
Yeah. But other people would say, no, you've got to keep practicing going through the middle because that's the style of play we want to play. I'd be more going, I just want to protect the scoreboard. We're going to lose anyway. I just want to get out of here without having the spirit of my team crush too much. And I worry that does happen when you go through the middle and turn it over like it's been happening for Sunbury today.
Sunbury haven't kicked a goal since halfway through the second quarter.
Yes, and Lewis has become the 10th individual goal kicker for North Ballarat. Morris with the clearance, ushered forward. Sunbury able to step the whoopie tackler towards Eels. Now Newitt. Right foot kick to the half-forward line. Glover against Scanlon. Kind bounce will favour Glover off the impressive Penny. His left foot ball to the outside will work. Lewis will go for a run as it's sat up nicely on the bounce. Thumps it towards full forward. This time Granger Barras is behind. Instant mark is taken there by Riley and by Sunbury, who goes short to Egan. Egan looks laterally. Should find his target, which it does. They can build things up. Short to Bramble if they like, and there he goes. He tucks up the arm, goes, runs Cody Bramble. Searching ball finds its way to a teammate, and Eels back to Bramble. Wobbly kick towards centre forwards. A poor one. Should have been cut by Bowman. Bowman's good enough to drop the mark and get it back to Glover. Left foot kick into the corridor, and here go the Roosters to the middle.
They do, and it's through Lewis. His kick missed its target. Furmeister came off the bench for Sunbury and overran it. He went back in to pick it up, and it looks like it's going to be a ball up in the centre of wing. So whilst Brad McGowan gives some thoughts to the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, he's got a few contenders, and a lot of them start up half-back, I would have thought. Penny and Bowman, and a pretty dominant performance from North Ballarat. Grabbed out of the ruck by Eels for Sunbury. And he kicked it straight into the hands of Glover, who played on quickly, got it to Palmer, switched it out the far side to Quinlan, handball over the top to Lamb, put him under a little pressure. He's up to the task. Back to Penny outside 50. Beautiful pass. Finds Granger Barras on the lead, 35 metres out from goal.
Can we give the Sporting Globe Player of the Day to the half-back line? Can the whole half-back line just share it for North Ballarat?
Can you cut a piece of steak in three?
Because they have been impenetrable. You just can't get past them. And you haven't been able to all this half. They've been wonderful down there. Glover, Penny, Bowman.
Yeah, it's a raffle there for potentially the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. They've been all so excellent. And Granger Barras, well, to make it his 4th goal of the afternoon, he'll start his approach, shoot from about 40 metres out. For number 16 of the day for North Ballarat, the right foot kick is in. It always looks skinny off the boot. In the end, it's a minor score, 15-13, 103 on the Metro scoreboard. That's the Roosters. Sunbury 4-5-29.
The other player that could be a chance, or the other person that could be a chance, is the maintenance man behind the goals here. Because
he's had more kicks than anyone.
He would have led the possessions for the day. He did it through the 18s,
good call,
the reserves, and the seniors. He's in no rush to get the ball each time.
And he goes back and sits in his tractor.
Sits back in his tractor and racks them up.
A few kicks out though. I don't reckon he's got a super bad shoe on him, bro.
Lever will bring it back underway here for Sunbury, and his kick's too tall for his intended target. In the end, dropped the mark. There was Arts, and off hands, it goes out of bounds. We'll get the ball in.
So that's the maintenance man in the construction area. By the way, stands are looking better, and as we can look over towards the athletics track, we can see the blue athletics track is now down and getting closer to being ready here at Mars Stadium.
I'm not sure Sam Young will be doing many laps tonight. As the ball comes back into play, up the wing. Bowman again intercepts, kicks it long back inside 50. High kick, good mark overhead taken by the Sunbury skipper. Tyson Lever comes inboard to Newitt, back to Gallant. Switches play in the direction of Johnson for Sunbury. Ball went over his head. Glover was able to come through, but tapped it straight to Miller for Sunbury. Went back in, did Penny for North Ballarat. Handball to Lewis from North Ballarat. Went onto his right boot, found Glover again. Kick barely went 5 metres, let alone 15. So he had to play on. Found Reggie Palmer, came inboard in the direction of his skipper, Leonard. Marked on the forward line of the centre square and hit McGuigan, who's back on the ground on the lead. He marks just inside 50 and unselfishly Brad McGowan kicks it to Will Quinlan, who's about 45 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, Capitals Quinlan just moves nicely inside forward 50 to mark there. And McGuigan's been good also, I thought. But they're just, like I talked about maybe having some sort of focus for this last quarter. Well, I hope it wasn't the focus for Sunbury to stop North Ballarat marking the ball, because North Ballarat are doing it what they please. There is just no pressure on them, and they're able to move the ball wherever they like.
So Quinlan directly in front, right on the paint. Line for his 2nd of the afternoon. Gets close to man the mark because he wanted the distance, and he always had the accuracy. Number 16 in the afternoon for North Ballarat, 16-13, 109 on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury stuck on that 4-5-29. Aside that, has not kicked the goal since midway through the second term, and to be honest, don't look like getting one before the game finishes.
No, they've got to get past the North Ballarat half-back line, and that's not easy to do today, particularly with the way the ball's coming in and the lack of pressure that the Sunbury half-forward line are putting on at the moment.
And even if you looked at the wider North Ballarat defence, and not just the half-back line, Curran, I reckon, has been super at full-back. Obviously, we've mentioned Bowman and we've mentioned Glover, but Carey's been off half-back today and has played very well. So it's been a real team defence approach. This play restarts in the middle. Sharked out in the middle by North Ballarat, and it's Shea, kicks long forward. Ball was touched off the boot. Granger Barras thought he marked it. Got through 2 tackles, handball back to Carey. Back to Granger Barras. His kick was smothered by Eels. Miller went in, got a handball to no one in particular. Carey came in for North Ballarat, as did the Sunbury in Newitt. Newitt gave it over to Egan. Egan round 1 tackle, kicked it along the ground. This will be a lasso free kick, or did Johnson get it in time? I think Johnson might have just kept it in for Sunbury. Curran goes in for North Ballarat. Was he pushing the back? The umpire says no, and the ball does trickle out of bounds on the outer side here at North Ballarat.
Just another one there. Jake Egan, he had the ball running through the middle, and as usual, Tom Bromley Lynch is always within a metre of him. I guarantee he gets in the best for North Ballarat today.
And so he should.
He's been given the job on one of the best players in the competition. He has worn him like a glove and made his day horrible.
Back in the way here. We played 12.5 minutes in this final term. For Sunbury, the final sign can't come quicker. For North Ballarat, it's party time. As we're at half forward for the Lions. Haven't kicked the goal, as I mentioned, since midway through the second term. Jolie in the ruck wins down for North. Quick kick forward by the Lions. We're inside forward 50, so here's an opportunity maybe Well done by Thomas Palmer in defence for the Roosters. Ball spills out for Sunbury. Powell got boots of ball. Turnover. Bowman, could he walk the tightrope? No, he could not. We'll get a boundary throw right on 50.
We talked about before the game, could Sunbury just play defensive forwards on some of these halfbacks? I think they should have. Like, it couldn't have gone any worse than it had, really, if they just stayed on their opponent.
It was always going to be the issue pre-game, and unfortunately for Sunbury, it's gone as Clint Proctor would have planned, as the umpire comes in to ball the ball up about 45 metres from the Sunbury goal. They haven't had many injuries since that second term. Lamb goes in for North Ballarat, handballed it back to Carey. An umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Yeah, it's an area that other clubs will certainly look at, Brad McGowan, when they play against North Ballarat, I would think.
Yep, you're going to have to.
Ball thrown in the air. I think Wigan for North Ballarat goes in hard. Got some contact early in the third term, pleasingly out in the ground, but he turned that one over, came back to Eels to Lever, kicked inside 50. Johnson found himself behind, met his opponent high with that contact. He looks quite a frustrated man, Daniel Johnson, this afternoon, and we can understand why, given his team's performance. It'll be young Palmer to take that free kick. That's Tom Palmer. Kicks long, up the wing. Somebody player dropped what he should have taken. North Ballarat come in with the weight of numbers. In this case, Collins handballed it to no one except his Sunbury opponent, Riley. He handballed it to Powell, put him under pressure. And went Penny to go and pick it up. Went onto his left boot. Kicked inside 50, but there's no one home. Sunbury clean up.
Sunbury can go through Riley. Right foot kick coming towards the broadcast side. It's a wobbly one. He's going to have to get there before it gets out. We'll keep it alive just there. Was through Pearce, but in the end, Miller has walked over the line. And it's just been so obvious that Sunbury's ball use has just not been up to scratch.
Even their skills, the kicking skills have been poor, haven't they? Yeah.
Well, we understand that they do have less players in the team. I don't have their stars, but they're just overall pressure and effort. Everyone can put pressure and effort on, and they haven't brought that today.
Coming out of this one, Intentinello goes short, just the required 15, and played on anyway with Scanlon, was spit it wide. And now a bit of overlap run, an opportunity for Power to go inside 50, has a loose man, finds him, the mark is taken there by Ryan. About 45 metres out, into the breeze. We'll have to strike this cleanly, but might be able to get Sunbury's first goal since the second term.
That was good ball movement by Sunbury, wasn't it, to go from our broadcast side around the other side, so around all those defenders for North Ballarat, and get a shot on goal.
So Ryan will start his approach. Never kicked a goal in senior footy. Game number 9. Still hasn't, as they won't make the distance. Off hands and stays alive. Opportunity at the front, outside the boot, finish and goal to the Lions. The goal went the way of Murphy Boyd, who comes through and rode that perfectly.
Yeah, that's right. Good positioning. Started 10 metres off where the ball was going to drop. Came in with the ball. It fell beautifully to him, and yeah, he was able to rove and put it on his right foot. Good goal to Sunbury. Good ball movement around that side. Look, Sunbury have tried to move the ball at times through the middle. It's just been North Ballarat's pressure has made it really hard for Sunbury to execute. On that occasion, North's pressure dropped off a little bit and then allowed Sunbury to do what they wanted to do.
Those comments for Brad McGowan for One Life Insurance. Quickly around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store. Darley making a bit of a comeback. They've got drawn within 15 points of Melton in the last quarter. Lakers trailed by 137 against Sebastopol, and in the close one, Redan have slipped behind by at 6 goals to Ballarat. Ballarat 12-15-87, Redan 7-6-48.
We're on Edwards' watch. He already has 10. We'd love to know how many he's got now against the Lakers and CE Brown Reserve. Back with action here. Coming forward there, kick was Power again for Sunbury. Off hands, boys at turf for North Ballarat to rebound with Curran with a sweeping ball. Finds his teammate there in Lewis. Right foot kick will go inside, 50 with the shallow entry. Leave in front, over the mark. Jolie at ground level, right foot around the body was touched. The umpire waves play on, knocks to the advantage at Quick. He turns on the afterburners. Quick by name, quick by nature. Take a bow, Jamie.
What a goal. That was so fast and so skillful. He's a wonderful player to have.
You summed it up beautifully before when you said that is his bread and butter. You said, like, for a tallish guy, he plays like that small forward.
Yeah.
And that was the classic example of it.
Yep, and just really, he hits it with pace, and he is so fast. and reads it so well that he just gets to the, he's able to lose his player, takes his player up the ground and then loses them on the way back. So he gets a free run at it. What his player should be doing is saying, I'm going to allow you, Jamie, to be always up higher, but I'm never going to let you get goal side, because once you do that, you're going to be dangerous, and he's proven that today. How many goals is that?
5 goals for Jamie Quick this afternoon. North Ballarat 17-13, 115. Sunbury 5-5-35. On the Metro scoreboard, we've just ticked over 18 minutes here at Mars Stadium. Story of the day has been that Sunbury has kicked 1 goal since the second quarter, and North Ballarat have run amok as Sunbury win a clearance, kick the ball long inside 50. And this is probably the story of the day. It's the North Ballarat defence getting back time and time again, and this time it's Glover who takes the mark. Comes out and finds McGuigan on the wing. He's done some nice things today as Declan McGuigan. Game number 34 for North Ballarat. He comes back, and North Ballarat starting this slow play now, running the clock down. Glover goes off to Lamb, the skipper. Looking short and wide. This is perhaps what Sunbury might have done to try and limit the damage on this scoreboard. Glover has the ball now. Kicks short and finds Penny.
So that's 5 marks in a row. We talk about trying to cover off. That's 5 easy marks in a row they've given up.
So it's Penny now on the left boot. Long. Up the wing. Jolly found himself behind, but was good enough to get it to ground. And Collins, who's the ruckman, playing like a rover, sharked it, went onto his left boot. Kick lands just outside 50. Riley's there for Sunbury. Got some support from Lever from Sunbury. Went onto his left boot and found Muir in the centre of the ground.
Yeah, we can spread the hand pass wide for Sunbury, and look at the short parts in the direction of Scanlon, who'll retreat with the handball to a teammate and ends up in the right man's hands, and Power tucks on the arm, goes for a run. Right for kick to centre forward. It's a good one.
Good kick.
Mark taken there by Boyd, who plays on immediately, thumps it inside forward, 50 for Sunbury, and the mark's taken by Johnson on the lead of the line for goal.
I guess that is what Sunbury have tried to do, is move the ball through the middle with hands and then short kicking. When it comes off, it actually looks pretty good. They can break up a line, and they don't need a centre-half forward, say, to take a big mark, because they've run through that area. If they can get the ball to Johnson, he's been able to mark it. He just hasn't been able to finish.
Johnson, line for goal. Right for kicks on its way, and it's never coming back from there. It won't even register a score. We'll stay alive with the fist coming from Shea for a moment's time. And out of bounds it goes. We're into time on in this final term. The Metro scoreboard, well, it has North Ballarat in firm control. 17 goals, 13, 115 to Sunbury's 5-5-35.
Just quickly down to Sam Treasure. Gallant came off the ground into some discomfort there, it looked like, Sam.
Yeah, I think it's more just disappointment, Rog. There might be a little... Nah, he looks just a bit disappointed, I think, Rog, yeah.
Good to hear. Glad it's not an injury as the ball comes back into play. Johnson grabs it out of the ruck. Clever handball to Pearce. His kick almost went nowhere. Penny back for North Ballarat, as is Ryan, and the ball will spill out of play around 20 metres from the Sunbury goal, right in front of the social club here at North Ballarat. Healthy crowd in, and it's been a great day for North Ballarat fans. Big win in the reserves. An equally big win in the seniors as the ball's thrown back in. Johnson for Sunbury. Ball went to ground. Tom Palmer went in. Handball from the ground. Clark went in for Sunbury to pick it up. And the umpire comes in and says it'll be a ball up. So 21 and a half minutes in this last quarter. That lead is out to, well, my maths is no good, but 85 points is what it tells me, Sam Young. You might tell me otherwise.
Yeah, my abacus has it as 80. So. Back underway. Inside forward 50 for Sunbury, trying to get the margin a bit more respectable on the score sheet, but maybe a little bit too late for that as we've gone 22 minutes in this final term. Johnson just took it out of the ruck. Ran into a brick wall in Palmer. And another stoppage inside 50 as this rinse and repeat. Stoppage after stoppage. It's been a pretty clear tale of this afternoon's game. You can count 34 players in Sunbury's attacking half. Johnson went without it. Morris coming through was good. Broke the tackle. Rifle kick out wide. Finds Lewis, who's been industrious across the half-forward line. Turns on the afterburners. Looks towards the corridor. Spearing pass. Gets Lockett. Takes the mark at full stretch. Plays on immediately. Goes in the Jolly direction. Poor kick should be cut off there by Gallant, who is back on the field and spearing the pass nicely to find Harry Power, who has battled on. Goes to centre back. Mark taken by Newitt. Can he spread the ground, make Marstein look big? Goes short first to find Walker. He can chip it over the top, find the speedster and Bramble. Go back towards the teammates. A poor kick, though. Instant marks taken by North Ballarat immediately.
So outer side wing, long entry from Glover into the forward line. Granger Barras overrun it. Pearce got back for Sunbury to clean up. Handball was to Power. To Lever, onto Miller for Sunbury. Safe for now as Boyd marks outside 50. Elects to slow the play down. Doesn't have a great deal in front of him, so comes dangerously inboard. Misses the target. Goes straight to Will Quinlan for North Ballarat, who with great composure kicks it over the head of Granger Barras. He's claiming a free kick for high contact. Umpire said, get up, play on. And Sunbury just do that through Blake Walker.
They go the handball over the top. And the Lions in the defence will look to continue to exit via handball. So it ran into a bit of a jam there, Walker, but good enough to spread it wide to find Bramble. Spearing pass inboard's gone just the required 15 to find Tentanello.
He's been quiet today, hasn't he, by his usual high standards?
Some tired boys out there. Not a lot of movement anymore. A lot of hands on knees.
Can come across defensive if he likes. He continues to go wide with a kick. They're just playing for the final whistle here are the Lions. Very tough afternoon. The trip down to Ballarat. High kick. Should be cut by Glover. Big spoil came from North Ballarat instead. Bramble getting back, couldn't gather. Quinlan looked left. He's taken under a bit of pressure with a poor handball. Bramble cut it off, but then he goes straight up to Arts. And now Leonard for North Ballarat left boot. The quick on the lead, and he's got it right inside 50. About maybe marked at 48 metres out or so. And Jamie can go back to shoot for number 6.
150 points in front, Sebastopol against Lake Wendouree.
Yeah, gee, they're a Daventry team, aren't they? I mean, we saw that firsthand last year. We know they're going to kick big scores this year, the way they move the ball.
So quick for number 6. Arc around a little bit to get that extra distance. The right foot kicks on its way. Goal umpire does not move an inch.
Wonderful kick.
6 for Jamie, 18 for North Ballarat. He's kicked the third of their goals this afternoon. And that's the most subdued celebration he's probably ever had.
Was that his first set shot at goal? I think the other 5 have all been crumbs, and that was a more traditional key forward shot at goal.
Yeah, you might be right there, Macca, as we're just getting a little tally with Sebastopol having a score of 180. A bit of a watch on Joel Edwards. He has 11.
11. He would be a tough player to play against, Edwards. Such a dominant, strong player. And he's just working his way back to fitness. He's going to be possibly the leading goal kicker in the competition.
Well, Adam Forbes might have something to say about that. He's got 4 for the afternoon as Sunbury win the clearance. Ball goes out really wide to Bramble. I've liked his game, first game in 12 months. He comes inside 50. But as we've seen time and time again today, North Ballarat dropping numbers back to get a defending mark, and Shea on this occasion took that mark. He's been called to come back behind play, so ball comes back to him. Replaced his brother in the side today, did Henry Shea, and he's playing for his brother. He's certainly done a great job. It's been a memorable debut. He kicked his first goal of his Ballarat football career early in the day. He comes out wide and finds Glover. Glover's on the back line of the centre square, handballs onto Penny. Gosh, their numbers would be huge. Yep. Penny up the line to Quick, who's had a super second half. Not sure it's enough to get the stake or Palmer, but he's going to do his best. He handballs inboard to a teammate in Collins. His handball was a shocker and went straight to Sunbury. Power. Handball back to Clark.
Oh.
Tentanello, who hasn't had a great day, then kicks to the lasso. Ball out of play. It's going to be a Taj Bowman free kick at the half-back line for North Ballarat.
So Bowman will retreat, go all the way back to Carey as they spread the defence here at Mars Stadium. Across to Shea, can pick his options, and he goes to the captain and Lamb. Always a safe one. Goes in the direction there of Morris, who's on an intrusive wing for North Ballarat. As the Roosters just keep pressing forward. Well done on the mark there by Miller. Got the smother. Follow-up tackle by Morris in frustration was aggressive. Lockett will retreat to Shea, and he'll go all the way back for North Ballarat at the half-back line to Lamb, as they're just toying with him with ball in hand at the minute. Another mark to Glover. Chips the snap back to find Thomas Palmer. The Roosters do as they please. They chip it around Mars Stadium. So now access the outer side. Short ball finds Lewis. And the siren ends up in the hands of Brock Leonard, who started all the right for the opening goal of the day. He has the final kick of the day as North Ballarat are your victors this afternoon, round 4 action in the Ballarat Free League. 18 goals, 13, 121 on the Metro scoreboard. Sunbury with 5-5, 35. I'll go to you, Roger LeGrand, before we get to Brad McGowan's thoughts for the goal kickers today.
Yeah, huge margin, 86-point victory to North Ballarat, and was headlined by Jamie Quick. He kicked 6 goals for the afternoon. Denver Granger Barras kicked 3. 2 goals to Will Quinlan, and then 1 each to Sam Arts, Josh Morris, Harvey Lewis, Declan McGuigan, Henry Shea, Seb Collins and Brock Leonard. And for Sunbury, they only had the 5 goal kickers, and they were all singles, and they went to Harry Power, Murphy Boyd, Jack Newitt, Liam Spiteri. So Brad McGowan, it's been a long time since we've seen a Sunbury side lose to the tune of 86 points in Ballarat. They've had some tough times over the years, but in recent times they've been good, and today is the one they'd prefer to forget.
Yeah, well, we know they've got an injury crisis at the moment. They've